Open B isolation is closing in 1 minute. Open B isolation closing in 1 minute. If you are in open B, please make your way to isolation now. Thank you. I need one very brave volunteer to brush holds at 7:20 for the open B 5 on 5 off. One person, if you're available, if you're here, you're spectating, you want to get involved, help out. If you could brush for the open B category at 7:20, that would be amazing. Thank you. If you're thinking of considering doing that, just head up to the volunteer section up the front and we'll sort you out. Thanks, guys. the wall. If you are Lana to the sound booth, please. Lana to the sound booth. Alrighty, guys. 6 minutes till Open B starts. 6 minutes till Open B starts.
Welcome everyone to the 2023 Victorian State Titles. I am Trenton Johnson Bow, and I will be. Oh. Okay, yeah, we're talking.
Technical difficulties, friends. Maybe just communication difficulties.
How are you, Lana? How are you feeling?
Oh, not bad. Oh yeah, I'm Lana, by the way.
And I'm Trent.
We're both from Boulder Lab, here at Boulder Lab. We usually commentate together, so yeah, you know, we're a bit of a dream team.
We've been on the Masters together, so we were on the Masters last year together, and we were, actually projecting into the space, so it's a little bit different this year that we're going into the live stream. Yes, and I believe we're live right now to you all, but we are having some communication difficulties.
It's also strange because we can't even hear ourselves. I was just speaking into the void, really. Anyways,
it is a crazy atmosphere here today.
awesome. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. I think it is better with headphones on, so you block out those. Is Ben quiet for you? Is Ben quiet for you? Can you hear them now?
Hello, Lana. How are you going today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good.
Very excellent. Ben, could you turn yourself off?
All good.
Okay, guys. Appeals for the junior category results. Appeals for the junior category results will close at 7:20. You have until 7:20 to appeal the junior category results. Thank you.
Alright guys, we've had some technical difficulties, but we're in now.
We're on.
We're on. Apologies for being a bit late. Our schedule has been pretty busy. NCV has experienced a super busy day because we've had the most competitors ever, but this is Victorian State Titles.
And probably the least amount of volunteers.
Good call, Lana.
So if anybody wants to volunteer in the future, please.
Please put your hand up. Quick
Your
intros.
hands up.
Quick intros. My name is Trent. I'm an employee at Boulder Lab, and I'm joined with.
Lana, and I'm also an employee at Boulder Lab.
Yes. So the way these competitions work in Australia is essentially we have SCV as the major sort of production person for these kind of events, and then we have hosts. So last year Boulder Lab hosted the Boulder State Titles, and we taken it the second year around. We got awesome feedback from year 1, and now we're on to year 2. And I think we've really built upon it again, which is pretty exciting. So very quick shout out to all the volunteers.
Alrighty.
Specifically the
Isolation for
production
Open
crew
A
as
will
well.
open at
So we're sitting next to them,
7:25
and they have done
and
a
will
pretty incredible
close
job.
at
They're being
7:40.
purity
Isolation
futuristic
for
at the
Open
moment.
A
Lots of
closes
gear,
at
lots of wires.
7:40. Thank you.
A lot going
They're
on.
good. A lot going on tonight.
Alright guys, those who are tuning in online, please bear with us, we're having some technical difficulties. Just to let you know where we're at in terms of the finals right now, the Open B competitors have hit the floor. So right now Lana and I are going to give you a quick run through of the rules for those of you who don't understand this climbing realm that is somewhat new to people. So first and foremost, with this finals we're doing an IFSC semi-final format. IFSC stands for the International Federation of Sports Climbing. The first thing to know is that it's a 5-on, 5-off, I don't know what you would call it.
Timing?
Yeah, timing, that's how it goes. So you're 5 minutes on the boulder, you're 5 minutes off, and then once you finish your break at that 5 minutes, you're on again. So I think we've got some vision now. So you can see our first competitor out. Attacking
Jamie
the slab
Chen.
problem.
Yep, very awesome.
Yeah, so bear with us while we get to this. This is somewhat new for us.
We're getting
Such
there.
such a professional sort of standard.
Definitely not used to this.
This is going to be quite a playful sort of stream. But yes, so right now, who have we got up now, Lana?
We have Jamie Chen at the moment.
Jamie Chen, so she's on your screen right now. She's attacking boulder number 1, which is a slab problem.
Looks very cool.
So when we're talking about slab, we're thinking about flat wall climbing, okay? So as we get to the other boulders, you'll see a lot of angle to the wall. And our route setters, we can give a quick shout out to. I'll throw over to you, Lana.
Yeah, we got some great route setters. So we have our route setting director, which is Pat Klein. Then we've joined by some amazing setters. We've got Jordan Grant, M. Buzzer, Rach Bennett, Yo Matsura, Liam Jones, and Tanara Brahm.
Yeah, so essentially, the way that today has worked is we've had a whole bunch of ages coming through, kids under 10, kids over 10 heading to their teenage years, adults, the masters as well, so people who I believe have to be over 45, and then now we're hitting the finals. So there was a big qualification round, which we structure as what's called a Boulder Jam. So some categories only had 7 boulders, and they didn't have a finals round, but now we find ourselves to the finals round where the qualifications consisted of 5 boulders that the competitors had to top. So we've had a very full house, haven't we, Lana?
We have, and you can also see Jono Wong on your screen right now. Also, it is a 4-point start, so you can see those little tags.
We're getting waves from the crowd, some of our U Squad kids, so I'm giving them a shout out. Shout out to the Boulder Lab kids.
Boulder Lab U Squad, the lab rats as they are called.
Yeah.
It's a 4-point start, so there's a piece of tape on each hold. You've got to start with 1 limb on each piece of tape. And then to finish, you've got a match finish, so you've got to match both hands on the very last hold, controlled top, about 3 seconds.
And if you've been to a climbing gym, when you're going there, there's no zone. So what you'll notice is there's also some yellow tape, typically around the middle of the boulder, or perhaps following the crux section of the boulder, which is typically known as the most difficult part. So the competitors essentially they'll get points for the zone, and they get points for the top as well. So it's scored by the amount of attempts to the top, and then the amount of attempts to the zone, and then we run through it that way. It's maybe a little bit confusing with our rough statements here, but we're doing our very best.
So the scores are also scored by attempts to the top and attempts to the zone hold. So even if you make it to the top like everybody else, potentially and hopefully, then it goes by what the attempts are.
Right, so this is not actually Gabrielle, this is Ayrton. And the only reason I know Ayrton because he's a local climber at Boulder Lab. But again, please bear with us with some technical difficulties. Essentially we've got our first top for tonight. Very exciting. Nice.
I reckon they've been putting it reversed. Remember, they're coming out from the bottom. So what's on there as well. Also, we're trying to speak louder. We do know we are a little bit quiet, but we are working on it. Please bear with us.
And we are by no means professionals in this space.
First. Cool. Hopefully this is a bit better. But we're working on it. We're working on it, guys.
Alright, so we've got Ash on the slab problem. So see there, she makes her 4 points. Well, she doesn't actually make her 4 points of contact there. So that's an attempt. That actually counts as an attempt. So the judges catch that, and then she channels into her next attempt. We're a little bit blurry here. There's her 4. Well, she hasn't
Beautiful.
got her 4th yet. So now she's established her 4-point start, and she's starting to make her way through the boulder. Now, as a coach and a route setter myself, I feel somewhat well placed to comment on these boulder problems. Here, a lot of the focus is down on your lower body, so thinking about your hips and your legs and essentially your toes, really, to be pushing hard onto these holds, those green ones you can see on the bottom. And then essentially that big piece is called a volume that she's resting on. And that's actually screwed onto the wall by the route setters, and then they can bolt those green holes onto those spaces as well.
Nice feature, just makes the climbing a little bit more 3-dimensional.
Yeah, good call, Lana. So I set the under 12 section at our Clayton facility, and that's pretty flat wall climbing in that space. So I was pretty proud of my kids today who got to come out in the Youth X category. It was the first time we had a Youth X category, which was super exciting.
Very cute.
And really cool to see them get up and have an awesome time. And I think everyone's actually had a really fun day. It's busy. I'm getting looks all over here from the kids.
It's also the first year that we've had an open sea category, which is exciting. I think it's pretty cool, to be honest, because it kind of bumps up the standard for a lot of the stronger climbers. Now we have Open A, Open B, and Open C. I think it's a really cool start to getting us in line with the rest of the world's climbers, I reckon.
Yeah, good call. I think it's probably good to note that Australia is somewhat behind in the realm of competition climbing. Gyms have started popping up quite aggressively over the past 5 years. So Boulder Lab opened up 3.5 years ago as an example, and we've opened 3 facilities in 3 years, which is super exciting.
And stressful. But we don't talk about
totally.
that.
And so, so Australia is somewhat behind in the realm of competition climbing. We haven't got so for instance, we only run one state competition per year, but again, the efforts of today really showcase how well we can grow the sport and the commitment of everyone today. So I guess it's important to give a quick shout out to all the volunteers who have put their hands up today to work hard with everyone, and thinking about all the parents who drive their kids everywhere, and of course the athletes as well, who have committed their time and energy to training at various facilities. I know there's a lot of kids coming out from Geelong. There's a lot of people coming from interstate as well.
Lots from New South Wales, Tasmania as well, heaps from Tassie.
Yeah, so I guess this signifies our professional development of the sport by having this super crazy live stream. We've had a really wild production process of getting all the wires through the mats and connecting things to the roof, and I can't actually really describe how complex and techy everything looks, but it's pretty cool. Hey, Lana?
Lots of setup, lots of stress, but lots of fun as well.
Yeah.
Also, just so you guys know, we are aware that the names are coming out in the wrong order. Should be going 6th to 1st, but it's coming out 1st to 6th. But we will let you know who comes out for sure.
Yep.
Don't
All right, so now we head over to female boulder number 2. Again, keep in mind the competitors need to establish their starting positions, so 2 hands, 2 feet.
This one looks quite cool, set by May. Oh, I forgot to mention May McKenzie, of course, one of our star setters. Woo,
right, so
that
we've
was
got quite
cool.
a dynamic move in. Nice. And just trying to find that foot. So again, climbing is this sport where typically you can focus a lot on your upper body, but really you want to stay down in your feet. It's typically something that new people will gravitate towards, using their hands and their upper body.
Use
but
your
realistically,
momentum.
Yeah, so you're trying to use momentum through your hips. You can see here she's really getting her knee over her toe,
Awesome,
hugging it
Kim.
really close to the wall, which looks like quite an uncomfy position, and looking like a bit of a wrestle and quite hard on the shoulders there.
You can kind of see that angle just juts her out from the wall so much. It's
Yeah,
just
well.
fighting there.
So that hold her left hand was on, we refer to as a sloper. And for all of you at home that know this sport and understand this sport, I apologize if this is something that you know and perhaps it's a little bit mundane. We'll get a bit more techie later on in terms of our discussion of the climbs. But I think it's important, again, considering where we're at in the sport in the country, to get all you guys on board at home of the understanding.
Lockie McMaster makes the top. How
Oh, there
good
we
is
go.
that?
Another top.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Love that.
So we haven't got to see a full look at men's boulder 1, but again, it's on the flat wall, so it's on the slab, quite pressed up in your feet on that, really trying to squeeze into your toes and move with your hips. All right, so another attempt here.
Super cool.
Manages the
super
jump,
swing.
getting the foot over nice and clean. And then finding herself in this edgy position in here between the volumes. Sloped hold, really tricky. Oh, just coming back
It does
down.
not look very good, does it?
No. It's really
Also-
quite impressive. We have a bunch of athletes who haven't even seen these boulders and who are literally walking out onto the mats and envisioning themselves on this climb. Well, that's something that you typically will practice in climbing, just like in a lot of sport as well. And then you're trying to execute. So the beauty is this like mental, physical. I reckon you could comment a bit on that, Lana. Maybe with your wrist pain and the way that you think about your climbing.
Yeah,
and
for sure. I think about it very, very spiritually. Try to be very mindful with my climbing. I think because I can
Right.
have a lot of like anxiety come in from the real world into my climbing.
Yeah.
And so and also talking to Trent about this is really good. Just trying
Yeah.
to manage the ways that we manage the fear on the wall, self-doubt as well. And
Right.
especially in a competition setting, you've only got 5 minutes to do it. You've never seen it before. You've got a bunch of people watching you, cheering you
Yeah.
on. You're on a live stream as well.
I know, yeah, the
The
pressure of
best.
the live stream, you're just being put in cyberspace. But yeah, you're right, Lana. I think that added pressure of a big crowd, lots of noise. Today was so busy in-house that there was just moments where I was just walking around and I just need to take a break outside because
I took a nap in my car.
good
it was
call,
a
Lana.
lot.
Yeah, so Lana and I have been here very early. Again, all the volunteers have
6:30
been here
a.m., just so you
super duper
know.
early. I guess it's probably a good time to give a very quick shout out to our sponsors. We'll go into a little bit detail later, but our main sponsors for the event today are Ocun, who are a climbing apparel and a climbing apparel brand. We've also got Happy Beaner, Can Climb, and Clif, who have kindly committed their time and energy to the event today to be showing off some cool shoes, some cool pants and things like that from Ocun, and then giving some things for the athletes for the podiums as well, so essentially putting in some prizes there.
got Jade Thompson also on Boulder 1. Just want to give a shout out to Jade. Probably, I reckon, maybe the youngest person that's in female B. And she does come in here a lot.
Oh, she's
I'm
going for
very
a different
familiar
approach
with
there.
Jade.
The little run and jump start. So trying to lock herself into that position and getting the heel over. Edging herself into the volume. Again, like a lot of the focus is on your feet and how you're moving underneath that volume. So slab is a lot about, again, slab is flat wall. I'm just going to keep reminding that. It's Lana giving giving her energy on that boulder. Just
awesome.
can't quite make it around that slopey hold.
Taking a deep breath, Jade. I love that.
Oh, she's right back in again. She's right back in again.
High
All right,
rock,
there's her
back
4-point
rock.
start.
I keep trying to convince her to join the Boulder Lab youth squad, but that's okay. That's just me being biased. Alright. Got to be so precise with that one.
Yeah, look, I think trying to move dynamically to the zone there is quite tricky, but we've just switched over back to, okay, and we're off female 2 as well. Now, female 2 looks like quite a powerful boulder. We're edging close to the end of this round, actually, and then we're going to get into the next athletes. All right, and that's time up.
And that volume on F1, just saying, gave it a test. It really pushes you out. It's kind of hard to maneuver around it to get to that dynamic catch.
And when Lana says F1, she means female boulder 1. So essentially on the walls, in some of the footage you can see here above our competitor's head, says F2. So that's the second boulder. They will have 5 boulders to complete. So far we've only seen a top on the blue boulder, men's boulder number 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully the crowd's going to get a little bit more hyped up and push these competitors, especially onto this black one. It'd be really cool because you've already seen competitors struggling on that shoulder move. So what we want to see now is someone top this boulder and get everyone really hyped.
I would love to see Ash do this statically. It would be a dream of mine. As someone who is not very dynamically favored.
Wow,
Also,
that
shout
shoulder
out
position.
to Ash because she made those earrings that she's wearing right now, and they're awesome.
I like that climbing has a certain style coming to it in the modern realm of climbing. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Camera's not on, guys, but we've actually got a top on men's boulder 2.
Very exciting. It's from Ayrton.
And that was Mr. Ayrton, yeah. So a Boulder Lab boy doing very well. Seems like we're just plugging in for Boulder Lab, and I just want to give a shout out to some other gyms involved in today. Some of the setters we've got from Urban Climb. They were also, I know Jordan is from Beta Park in Tasmania. We've got athletes from Rock Adventure out in Geelong, Blockhouse, whole bunch of coaches as well who have committed their time, specifically grit climbing that I'm thinking about.
Yes, grit climbing
Honestly,
for sure.
it's quite tricky to actually think about everyone involved in these events. But
Really
again,
is a
like
community, big village.
yeah, right. And I think again, this idea of having so many volunteers. Oh, we're getting another top here, maybe. Nice, cool.
Woo.
So you can see that he was in a really strong position. He looked pretty comfy. He was able to get 2 hands on the match finish. Matching is putting 2 hands on a climb. So imagine you put 1 hand there, you put your second, and that's the match, right? Your pair is
Controlled
there.
manner, hold it for 3 seconds. Also, we got Lauren Tong going on for Boulder 1 for female.
I like how we've seen 3 different starts for this boulder. So here she plants the left foot and then flicks the right up. But again, we haven't seen much development through this section we're going through now. That hold you can't really grasp. Again, where your energy should be directed is towards your feet and towards your hips. So as you can see, they're not super engaged through the lower back. She kind of knows what she has to do, I think, to get through that, which is that more engagement. But again, we'll see.
Yeah, I reckon it's being slightly misread, which is, I think, is a cool thing. I reckon that's more of a foot. Just got to go more for the jump, I reckon. For sure. Yeah, it's hard sometimes in comp climbing. You find a way, and you reckon, all right, that might work, and you keep trying. It's really hard to sacrifice that to try a different beta. Beta being the way that you try a climb or approach a climb.
Yeah, there's all these funny terms in climbing, isn't there? And look, I'm not going to claim like I'm. Oh, Ash just got up that one.
Lauren making progress. Might be the most progress we've seen on female Boulder 1, which is really exciting.
Right. Pushing hard with all we're almost going to get a top here, I think. Oh, nice.
All right, come on, Lauren.
Nice and steady.
Lots of trust in your foot in this one.
So getting a lot of volume of the shoe on the volume itself. Oh, and just barndooring out. So a
close.
bit of cheer from the crowd there. So you're almost living through the experience of these climbers now, which is really exciting.
She's got time now, though. She knows what to do. Hopefully she can smash it next attempt.
Yeah, we don't actually have the time up on our stream right now, but hopefully we can fix that for you, because I think the time element plays a really big part in it. For example, if you are attempting a really powerful boulder, you might give it an attempt, and you might get really close to topping that boulder, but instead of jumping straight back on, you may rest for a minute and give yourself a whole minute. We actually just got the bell for the minute mark as well. At the top left of your screen as well, you'll see one of our sponsors, Happy Beaner. They're offering a 5% discount. You have to pop in SCV, which stands for Sport Climbing Victoria, but just SCV for a 5% discount. They've been doing awesome all day. They were here late last night setting up. They've been really good.
Small business, really good vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so she's back into her position. She's now cruised through the start.
Really trust that foot
Just trying
there.
to dig in that toe into the volume, but having to go very steadily. It's this question of, do you move dynamically, which is with a bit of power like this? Wow, she grabs. Oh, okay, and there's our top. Nice job. Nice job. There's always these moments where you wonder, can they hang on? Can they stay on the wall? I know that I've watched many World Cups where competitors will get one hand to the top, they'll turn around to the crowd to get a cheer from them, and then they'll match for the finish, which is a bit of a daunting moment, to be completely honest with you. But yes, so in the space, we're moving on to our next boulders now. So now we find ourselves at female boulder number 3.
Is this the first go at number 3, I think?
Yeah.
Yes,
So our first go
awesome.
at the blue one, which is looking
We
really
got
cool, and you
Kim
can see
hopping on.
men's boulder number 3 in the background there as well.
Simultaneous falls, though, kind of
Okay,
cute.
so this is cool. So the females in this open B category are starting on a slab problem, which is where you have to go really slow. They have a really powerful second boulder with some strong dynamic movement, and then they're channeling straight into another dynamic boulder. So it'll be interesting to see how they go on boulder number 4, which will be quite a taxing time physically, right? They've just climbed all day doing qualifications. They've been here all day in this very, very busy space, and now they're just back onto the boulders, giving it a good crack. So
Yeah, I wonder how being in such a busy space can affect you mentally. Like, I know for myself, I would not go very well. It's such a high-pressure environment.
yeah, that's interesting. So we've got a bit of a shot of 2 angles here.
Ooh, almost.
Just missing the jump in the background there on men's boulder number 3, and
Oh,
channeling
you really gotta
again for
plan
this
that
blue.
foot out as you go for that grab, for sure. It's very crucial on that volume.
Yeah, look, I think that the focus should be on getting that second hand onto that catch first, because then you can focus a bit more on your hips. So this is what we call a bit of a coordination boulder, but now we've switched out. So we're onto a different we're back at men's boulder 2. Oh, wow, big jump. Yeah, just caught it. There you can see. Oh, I just couldn't quite grab it.
Just falling off there.
I'm not sure how good the hold is underneath that one on the red.
It looks all right from here, but also who knows what it's actually like. You always say that, you know, you always look at that and you're like, oh, I could grab that. Then you go out there and you're like, oh, actually,
That ain't
that's
good.
kind of cooked.
All right, another top. Another top on men's
M1,
boulder 1.
Amazing.
Right.
Another top by Gabriel.
Bear with us as we try and catch up with the camera changes. I think it's better if everyone gets a good look at the boulders consistently. But
There is lots going
with
on.
this blue hole that you can see that she's throwing to, it's quite. You can see the shadow in the. There you go.
Yes!
So committed to the 2
hands.
hands there, getting the foot
Awesome.
across, swaying quite a lot through the movement there, which to me, okay, and just off, which me suggests sort of lacking a bit of core strength and stability. Even through the shoulders as well, to really pull her body close to the wall. But again, like we were saying, Lana, it's one of those things where you can theorize all you want about how you might do a boulder, but realistically, you have to get on there to try it.
With podiums for UFA female. In 3rd place, we have Jacana Bose.
All right, we're getting close to a top of men's 2 here, perhaps.
Very exciting.
Nice,
Yes,
and
top of
strong
men
finish.
too. Go, Lockie.
You may have recognized that he just got a heel on the
In
got a heel
second
on that
place, we
yellow
have
that yellow tag, which
Indiana.
was the zone. And realistically, that was tucking his hips really close into the wall, so he can be in a really nice steady position.
And in
On that
first
top
place,
hold on the red
our
boulder we just
UFA
had, it's really
female
slopey. So again, you need to
2023
focus on the
big
feet,
boulders.
similar to what you're doing on the slab
Champion is
problem.
Tao
All right, so we're
Mirasawa.
progressing on female boulder number 3. Getting up to
Amazing.
this
Just-
hard
ooh,
Gaston
just brush
move.
that zone hold. Got really engage your shoulder with this one.
So again, I think
Oh.
this is about trying to push your knee over your toe
Mm.
and sort of meet the climb as best you can. So there's a lot of push and pull going on there, but mostly a lot of pull with the toe and pull with the hand holds as well.
You can see
And
her,
we'll
her
just do
hips are
the
kind of away from where she needs to go,
Victorian
pushing
podiums
her out. You can just see
In
Jade come
second
down from
place,
topping
we have
Boulder
Indiana
2. Good job,
Batten.
Jade. Smashing it.
In first place.
All right, so we're back to the
in
slab.
third
New
place,
competitor.
We have Clary Handicap.
Alright. We've had Priscilla drop the top quite a bit, so really
Oh, so there you
hoping
go.
that
There
she's
is
gonna
there is a
jump.
dynamic
Indiana
movement through
Batten.
there. That's really cool.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure how good that hold would be,
And
where the
in
yellow
third
tape
place,
is,
we
which is
have
the
Cal
zone.
Marasawa.
Getting up nice and high, having a quick look around at the time, digging that left toe in, getting the other crimp. All right, so trying to just compose herself, before she gets through to this last hold. Nice, just edging, shimmying across. That thing is literally circular. I don't think you can
Yeah,
actually
it's
find
not
much
very
friction.
good. You really got to trust that volume
In
and just
third
use
place,
it
we
as
have
an intermediate.
Louis.
Oh, we're getting close to the end, so she... Oh,
Ah,
just came off. So close.
Really good attempts.
Crowd getting so invested in that. That's great. That was
And
great.
In second
So,
place,
again,
we
you'll
have
realize
Luke
this is a very,
Shevchenko.
very quick finals format. So again, 5 on, 5 off. If you've just joined on the live stream, the climbers are on for 5 minutes. They're off for 5 minutes, and then they're back on. And they continue this until they've done
And
their
in
5
first
boulders.
place, and your
Again,
UK male
you'll notice that there's some
2023
green
Victorian
tape on the
State Boulder
boulders
champion
for your
is
feet
Jim
and for your
Spurr.
hands. So 2 hands and 2 feet have to establish the starting position. The judges sort of give a bit of a confirmation, and then the competitors get going. So right now we're fixated on the blue boulder, female number 3, which I'm really excited to see someone top this, because the middle section of the boulder is a really cool move in between the volumes. Just again about committing and lunging and sort of pouncing for that next hold.
Loving Ash's energy here as well. Just having a little bop along. I love it.
Yeah, she's cool. Again, this kind of like style thing
It's
is really cool.
groovy, yeah.
Tattoos look really, really sick.
I wish I was that cool.
We're on a live stream, Lana.
Do
We
you think
can
I'm
be
cool,
very
Trent?
cool.
I gotta be insecure on the live stream. Gotta keep it real.
Got to keep it real.
Competition third place,
You notice
we
her
have Sophie
going with the
Bowers.
left hand, but her hips not being able to support her through that process. Again, super important in your climbing is making sure that your hips are leading
And
your
in
movement.
second place, we have
If you're
Emily
sagging
Scott.
behind, it becomes much harder for you to stabilize yourself. Okay, cool.
There
Stab the foot out. I think
don't
she's
she established properly.
And
Yeah,
That's
good,
unfortunate.
good call, Lana. I think you're right. I don't think she quite established her starting position. So there you go, 2 feet, 2 hands. She's on now.
It's really hard. You're so in the zone, you forget about these things.
Right.
Also see Ayrton making some really good progress on.
Interesting going the left hand and then
second.
stabbing the right foot. I still think the method of coming through with 2 hands onto the hole before the foot is best, because you're going to use a lot of energy just going with 1 hand. Bit of
Just a-
facial expression from Ash here, trying really hard. Again, so here's this move where you really have to lunge hard at this hold. I think it'll be about focusing on the right foot, probably dropping the left really low and then going hard into it.
Just like
third place in the state of
So she's
Victoria,
trying
we
that.
have
Yes!
Wow,
Awesome,
big shoulder
Ash.
move into the Gaston, getting a little match in here. I think
Come
if
on,
she
Ash.
can sustain this physically, she should top this.
Yeah, it's pretty good hold at
I
the
know
end.
these holds. That hold at the top is really good. And now we have a match for the top.
Top
Nice.
from Ash and also top from Ayrton.
Ayrton's
on
cruising
boulder
through
3.
these boulders. He's
crushing
top.
it.
Was that a...
Number 1 by
did we-
Jono
And
Wong,
in
I
first
believe.
place,
We got a
as
top
well.
your
there?
2023 Victorian State
Male
Boulder
one.
titles junior female
Right.
champion.
This is the
is
trouble as well, when you've got
Sophie
people clapping for
Bowers.
all different things. You don't know who's topping what. We're on a monitor at the moment, just viewing in.
We're seeing what you're seeing, but we're also seeing
Well,
what
we've
we're
also
seeing.
got it right in front of us, so we're trying to stay focused on the screen, but we tend to get a little bit distracted. So here we're zooming up in, so he's got the zone now. On these really
And
slopey holds, there's
lastly,
nothing
for
on
Looks
that.
awful, to be honest. Yeah.
Getting hard in the
Our
crimp, dropping in the heel, trying to
competition
point that
third
heel
place.
and get your hips really close to the wall. And there's a strong finish. Nice.
Right, Bruce tops again.
Very cool.
Amazing.
I can't help but feel so jealous because these boulders look so
And
cool.
second place,
All
we have
day
Joy
I've been sort of
Ollie.
facilitating, coaching my kids, providing some general support in the form of making coffees. and I just want to climb. I seriously just want to climb. And that's what I think everyone loves about today is they just get so hyped about the climbers.
So psyched.
And you just want to climb yourself. So for all the members at Ferntree Gully and the people who come and climb at Ferntree Gully Boulder Lab, you're going to have an awesome time tomorrow when we're open. Shout out to Boulder Lab as well, having the capacity to open tomorrow as well. I think that's pretty cool. But you're going to have all these awesome quali boulders to climb, and then some of the finals boulders will stay up as well for you to possibly get a little bit shut down from. But who knows?
It's good for you. It's good to have the ego broken a bit, I reckon. Talk a lot about the ego when I talk about climbing.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Just having a bit of a rest between attempts
in second place
here.
for the state of Victoria, we have Angus Bowler.
You can see in the background of there, one of the volunteers as well, really brushing away at those holds, making sure that every competitor comes out with a somewhat equal advantage.
Victorian State Boulder Title
We
champion
love
for
our
junior male,
brushes.
we have Finley
Yeah, look, I
Evans.
think the whole etiquette of chalk brushing is perhaps not touched on enough. I'm not being a snob here.
I am.
But yeah, a little bit. But when you go to try a really hard climb and it's sort of caked up with a lot of chalk, it's really tough to find that grip on the holds. I do a lot of hold washing at the lab. Through route setting and sometimes when everything's super caked up, you can't believe that someone would actually be able to hold on to it. So yeah, if you're new to climbing, brush your boulders.
Please.
Brush your
them.
boulders. Like this guy.
Brush to crush. Brush to crush. Honestly, it does make a huge
We're
difference.
panning.
though.
We're panning. We're back to.
We're
We actually
panning.
get it.
I'm
All right, we're
dizzy.
panning back again.
I'm dizzy.
And there's a cameraman. And we're panning again. Okay. Hopefully we lock in here. It'd be nice to see this right from the start because I don't think I've actually had a proper look at it.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
So you can see in the bottom right corner that triangular volume with all these little holds on them. That's where essentially this athlete has to start. Again, I haven't seen this boulder yet, but it seems like quite a dynamic move out. Or perhaps you can press into the volume right above you, which is quite a shouldery move.
Yeah, because you are in the roof, so you could press it on that
Yeah.
volume maybe.
Oh, nice. Just
that
caught
was
that.
cool. It's like a good hold. To a pretty bad one, though.
Yeah, the cheetah
Really
holds.
see
They're
how
really
much his
nice.
wrist is
So this is
working
called a
here.
Gaston move for all of you at home. It's kind of a flexy, shouldery, back-oriented move. You're trying to squeeze your chest close in and squeeze your back. Making good progress. I think this boulder showcases really good core stability. And really stretched out moves as well, where you need to stay in contact with the wall. Wow, I don't know how
What a
he hung on
save.
there. That hurt my shoulder looking at that, to be completely honest. He's doing pretty well. He's got up to the crimp. Wow, well done. That was a real fight by Bruce there.
This has topped all the boulders
I'm pretty
so
impressed.
far as well.
And I think we've fixed some technical difficulties. You can probably see the timing at the bottom right of your screen. The names will appear intermittently because we're always changing camera angle as well. So it's kind of when we know we're going to stay fixated on a climber that we'll put the name up. Yeah.
Still having a bit of a think.
I love these moments of standing on the mats, eyeing in these climbs and thinking about what am I going to do? How am I going to do this?
Male
Okay,
boulder
so
four.
men's boulder 4.
I have not seen this one yet.
Okay, so I need to correct myself from the start though. They don't have 5 boulders. They only have 4 boulders.
Whoa.
Well done.
That was awesome.
Cool coordination move there. This is quite a hard move where you get a crimp that's facing down.
Oh, yes, Marta with the top.
Well
Let's
done.
go.
Well done. That was really cool. So what you saw there was the reach out to the right to quite a small edged hold. So we refer to them as crimps. Essentially, they focus in a lot of your finger strength. And climbing is one of these funny sports where people are like, how do you get good at climbing? And it's like, well, when you're developing athletes who have been climbing for some time, a lot of the focus is on your finger strength. And essentially on that climb back there that we're not looking at right now, you're pulling hard on the finger, but then edging harder on your toe. So you have to sort of overcompensate on the foot where your fingers can't pull super hard on those flatter edges or even those smaller edges. There's so many intricacies and technicalities to climbing. It's very interesting.
Priscilla making good progress here.
Got a bit of a view of the facility back there.
This one
wow,
is
nice.
probably one of my favorite of the female
Doesn't it
mini
look cool?
boulders. It's really cool.
Doesn't it look
It's
really cool?
cool?
Yeah. Those big spheres are really fun to set with. They add a lot of three-dimensional movement to the climbing. Everyone on set day is kind of fighting for those holds because they're super cool. Interestingly, there's an Instagram page that tells people how expensive boulders are from like World Cups and gyms and stuff like that, and you would not believe how expensive some climbs actually might be. I wouldn't be able to comment on any specific cost here, but I've seen climbs in excess of like $25,000, which is very interesting. Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I wish I made a hold making company.
Yeah. I think what you're getting at, Lana, is you just want money.
Yeah.
Maybe you should compete and start trying to win some comps.
I'd rather just commentate.
Really cool angle here where you can see the wall and the way it sort of angles back at the climber. They kind of have to veer around this little bit of a corner. Oh no, she's just hanging on. Again, looking at the fingers, they're kind of just gripping away at that hold into this really awkward shouldery move
Trying something a bit
and just
different
slipping
now.
away.
Oh.
Damn, every time I see someone's hand just sliding off a hold like that, I just think about my skin straight away. How
That is a
nasty it can be.
crisp hold as well.
Yeah, keeping skin is actually a very interesting one for climbing in general. You wouldn't think you'd want to focus on a lot, but really skincare is super important. Helps you get friction on the holds, especially on those slopey ones. So essentially there's a big divide in the climbing community about having dry skin and moist skin, and there's a lot of climbing products out there that assist with that. Whether you want to try and have drier skin or you want to have more moist skin. Well, look at the forearms on Aaron. He's a beast.
Oh. King Aaron Keble from Bayside, giving us a great volunteer brush. Good kid, good kid. He also sets up Bayside Rock.
Which was actually one of the first climbing spaces in Victoria, I believe. I think up in the northern suburbs there was a gym. Was it Lactic? It was Lactic that was first, which was very sort of outdoor style, sort of lock and pull crimp climbing, which I never got the chance to be in that sort of I guess aged space. I mean, we call it aged now. It's like fine wine. But now this sort of modern style of gyms is really taking hold. But what I think is really cool is the importance of having small gyms and having all these micro communities in this like global sport, and having competitions like this that are broadcasted to be able to witness what these athletes can do and have a bit of an understanding and appreciation for the sport is really cool. So I remember when climbing came out in the Olympics and it was super exciting. Sometimes you can, I don't know if people can relate to this, but you'll be watching the Olympics and you'll be watching some random sport like equestrian or something like that. And you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. But then you watch climbing, you're like, you know what? It's actually not really hard to get into. It's really exciting. I think it's like the unknown. Oh, wow. Interesting beta there, getting the really high toe.
Jamie Chen is smashing it.
You saw her getting her finger in it. Sorry for interrupting you, Lana. I'm just so invested in this movement. So tell me to turn it off if I'm being too aggressive here.
I don't mind. You're really caffeinated right now.
Have we had a top on this green boulder? Wow. Just pincing that hole with his feet. That was really cool. But back to my comment about female too, the black boulder. The athlete on this boulder right now is, well, not right now, what she was doing before was she was getting her thumb in the bolt hole. Now, you're allowed to do that. Essentially, that hold, as you can see on a lot of other holds around here, the bolt is screwed into the wall, and then you have a set screw so it doesn't actually spin as well. But she was just like shoving her finger in the bolt hole, which we could have actually blocked. I don't think it's giving too much of an advantage, but it's interesting to think about the little micro beta, again, the sort of approach to the boulder that might help someone get to the top.
What you can't do, though, is use the bolt holds in the wall or in the volumes. Dabby cheating. I love this blue boulder. I think it's super cool.
The blue?
Yeah.
The blue is really cool.
Really cool.
Again, like, I don't think it's fair that we have to commentate and don't get to climb, but it's okay. I'll deal with it.
We'll deal with it, I guess. I'm
Wow.
glad they let me test some of them. That made me happy.
Very shouldery move. Need to push up really strong. Make a dynamic move up.
It's a good
I don't imagine
hold.
you could do this very slowly.
Come
You
on,
need to sort of
Lauren.
make a huck up to the top. I use that term quite a lot when I'm coaching, and kids are always like, what are you talking about when you say huck? I don't know. I think it's just like you just saw her hips edging away from the wall. Shout out to Albie, actually, who's waving at me right now. He's one of my young kids who I coach, and he's been committing really hard to his training. Only been climbing for 4 months, and he came second today. I'm being a little bit biased here, giving a shout out to my kids.
He's a beast, though.
Yeah,
He's a beast.
And he's an amazing energy for the space. He's a community guy. This kid's only 7, and he can have the most intricate conversations with people. So, yeah, again, like, cool to have this awesome community where we can all relate to each other. To a 7-year-old. Like, I'm a 26-year-old, and I can have awesome conversations with this little 7-year-old. Just because we climb plastic on walls.
I thought you were older than 26.
I feel older than
I
26
thought you were
because...
27, dude.
Yeah, I'm 27 in October. So,
Ah.
yeah, catch me in October when you can call me old.
27 club. No,
But I feel
no.
like getting to 30 is when you're old. And so I'm semi-dreading that, even though I've got quite a bit of time.
Nah, dude, 30's the new 20.
We actually had a masters category. Funny we're talking about age, which is it 45 and over?
I think it's 40 or 45.
Yeah, which seems crazy, perhaps. Like all you 40 to 45-year-olds, perhaps at home sitting on the couch, you're thinking, how the heck would I even think about starting some of these things? And all you got to do is try, right? You just got to rock up to a gym, pay your entry, get your rental shoes on, and just give it a crack. But sometimes the old man strength goes a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Can hear some cheering in the background. We got a top on female number 3.
By Lauren Tong. I think she definitely could have done it first go, maybe just underestimated how
Yep.
bad that
Yep.
hold was going to be. It's actually a really good hold, that last hold. I reckon if she just went for it, she would have gotten it first go.
Yeah, good call, Lana. And I think a lot of it. Oh, we got a top on the black as well. Yeah, nice job. You guys didn't get to see that, but she actually got her fingers in that bolt hole on that big piece coming off the volume and then pulled herself up onto it. So I was talking about how that doesn't give an advantage, but that actually gave quite a big advantage. Although, what do you think I'm going to say, Lana, about fingers and finger
Depends
care?
how big your fingers are, hey?
Right, exactly. And how strong your fingers are. So coming back to that comment of, if you've got really weak fingers and you're trying to sort of get your fingers into a bolt hole like that, it's probably not in your best interest. Interestingly, my dad actually messaged me today, and he did a pulley at work, and he's a printer. And
Shout out to Trent's dad.
Yeah, shout out to my dad. Thanks, Dad. And he was searching up on the internet, and he was thinking, what is this injury? How does this work? And he was saying that his climbing career was over, jokingly, even though he's only climbed a couple times. But yeah, finger care, very important.
Also, it's so picky with skin, like calluses. How much calluses is too many? You don't want to get a flapper.
Right, yeah. For those who don't know what a callus is, real quick, getting on top of this boulder, pincing that hold with the feet. So what he's doing there is he's pressing his toes really hard into that big pinch. So originally it's for your hand to go on, and then I like the way that the setters have pushed the reusing that hold. I think it's very crucial for the top there if you didn't have the finger strength to be able to pinch it. And when I say that, you're almost thinking of your toes as like a spider, and sort of pincing around and making sure you're staying really locked in.
And we got Priscilla going on to
I've just got
nice
some
cross.
feedback from my head coach, Andrew Chen. I'm going to give you a shout out, mate, who said I keep repeating the word edging. Okay,
Now,
so
Trent, explain to the children on the live stream what edging is.
what edging is? I mean, I feel like I'm using it in so many different contexts now, and Andrew's making me anxious about using the term, so I'm cancelling that from my vocabulary.
Let's cancel Andrew Chen.
But yeah, Andrew is over in Korea at the moment for the Youth World Titles, which is very interesting. So we had some athletes from Boulder Lab, Maya and Claire. Do you want to give some last names for that, Lana, and maybe some results?
Yeah, so we have Claire Shevings from Boulder Lab, came in 35th. We got Maya Stasiuk, amazing, Boulder Lab as well, made semi-finals and placed 23rd. And we also got other people from Victoria in. We had Harper Vigios, Jamie Wong, and Rab Sidhu, who was here today as well. So she made the double session back.
We've also had, so we mentioned May McKenzie before, who was on the route setting team from Urban Climb. Her sister here as well, Oceana McKenzie, who actually placed 7th overall in the Boulder titles, the World Cup.
Australian female result in a world. I think actually the best Australian full stop result in a world championship.
Right,
I
which
believe.
is super exciting. So Osh going out there and climbing really hard was so fun to watch. It's so cool that it's also put on YouTube. So if you guys want to get a bit more familiar with the world of climbing, go to IFSC on YouTube, which is the International Federation of Sport Climbing, and you will be able to, watch some more climbing. It's for free. I mean, that's what's so interesting is you have to pay for all KO sports and all these things to watch some sort of more obscure sports. But it's really cool that climbing is free for now. I think as it gets more popular, it'll be harder to access. But anyway. So we're back to Jade.
Oh, look at Aaron. Look at
Aaron looks jacked. He looks so strong
jacked,
at the moment.
bro.
Yeah, so Aaron was competing earlier today, put his hand up to have a good brush, make sure the holds are, and I'm not even going to say the edges of the holds, just the holds. Making sure the holds are ready for these participants. Oh, wow, that's a big span, and just couldn't quite catch it at the end.
And Jade is a lot smaller than you think as well.
Yeah, I think Lana and I were mentioning, like, if you look at Aaron there, he's probably like 180 centimeters. So thinking about the size of those volumes and those big spheres as well, they're quite big. And I think you don't really get that sense of scale until you get that really wide view of the boulders in terms of being able to understand, like, how big is this thing? So, yeah, these big yellow volumes make a really big 3 dimensions to the wall. Oh, and she's caught that.
Ooh. You can't really see the angle on this as well.
That is
Really
a
gotta
cool
keep
shot,
that
though.
tension, yeah,
Shout out
it's
to the
cool.
production team today who have
Whoa,
busted
come
it
on.
today.
Oh.
Oh, I just couldn't quite get there. So in that spot, what she's probably looking to do, what she needs to do is try and get her foot across. She's saying thanks to the crowd, I think. Is she going to give it one more go?
Oh, look at how much tape she's got on her fingers. Poor Jade.
Smiling, which is so cool. I love that in climbing. Everyone
For
fails and then they're just
sure.
smiling. And I don't mean fail in a quite an aggressive sense. I just mean in the sense that
And it really
Good on you,
feels
Jade.
so good to try hard as
I think
well.
her tape actually fell off there.
Oh, what a
Really good
smile.
effort. Really good
Love
effort.
it. Good work, Jade. So Jamie Chen here, having a look at Boulder 4. She's
Yeah,
been
that's
smashing
not Jade.
it. Nah,
that
that
is not
ain't
Jade.
Jade.
That ain't Jade.
All right, Bruce having a little read. See if he's. Oh,
Whoa.
so close there, just a little bit low.
Yeah, we didn't quite get to see the start of this boulder before. Quite a dynamic move, pushing up. Really trying to toe hard.
Oh, that's our staircase.
I love how we're getting some obscure camera angles.
Yes.
We just missed out on that one. That's okay. We're back to the blue boulder. Female boulder number 3.
Just joking.
Oh, whoa.
It's like they're getting a bit tired as well.
Again.
So valid after a huge day.
Right, yeah. Again, just like smiling through this process, which is really cool. It's easy to get down on yourself, but all these competitors just come in smiling and really psyched to climb.
Jamie Chen going for a bit of a slower, bit more of a mantle. Ooh,
I think
getting
she was trying to like get to a
blue.
point where she could twist her chest facing that
Oh,
climb,
that
but
was
it's
awesome.
the setters have done it in a way where it forces you to move dynamically into the Gaston.
Getting that foot up early as well, super energetically efficient.
Yeah, so energy efficiency is something we talk a lot about when we're coaching the kids. Just trying to make sure that they understand when they're using energy. Oh, we got a top here. Very nice. Cool.
Easy. Made it look so easy.
So, for example, if you had quite a relaxed qualifying round and you felt like the boulders weren't too difficult for you and you can preserve some energy, approaching the finals gives you such an advantage. But it's this thing you have to balance, right? You can't just be all strong and all powerful in your climbing. You have to have this awesome technical ability. Again, mobility and flexibility play a super important role in how you can manipulate your body to get to certain climbing holds, get into certain wild positions. Another cool dynamic movement.
Renee wants me to give him a shout out, so I'm giving Renee a shout out. He came first today in Youth B, which is great though.
In the top. Another
Topped
top.
by Jono Wong, amazing. Now he's topped all of them, hey. No, oopsies. Wrong person.
No whoopsies, Lana.
Okay.
We're doing our very best, and
So
we're doing
true.
very well.
It's very hectic out here, to be fair.
Time's actually flying by. So I think we've got our route setters on the other side, tweaking some of the boulders. Again, a huge shout out to the route setters who have worked so hard all day, have been here early, have been here late, and have been here all in between, changing boulders in between final rounds. It really is a monumental effort to get something like this going, and also to sustain the quality of a day like this. Again, I mentioned at the start, we've had the most competitors we've ever had, and yeah, it's just such a big effort. Again, huge shout out to the volunteers. We've got some fans behind us supporting our live commentary. I think everyone's really psyched to get online, but we're not gonna focus too much on our distractions.
Love the concentration on her.
So you can see the setters ladders in the back, a little bit blurred in the background, getting ready for the next round.
Awesome. They literally strip it off and put on the next round's boulders in the
So
whole time.
Lauren approaching female boulder number 4.
Oscar
Oh,
just gave
just
me a
lost the
really
foot.
cool fact here. Apparently
Oh,
the
damn.
setting style is called F1 because they reset the round super quick. This is 10 minutes, I think, that they reset it in. 5 minutes, actually. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Shout out to Oscar, who's actually been carrying the whole team today. He is a legend.
Yeah, huge shout out to Oscar. Oscar's been MC all day. You might be hearing a bit of his voice in the background, but this guy literally has been camping at Boulder Lab
been
for the
sleeping
past
here.
2 days,
It's been kind of gross.
trying to make this the most exciting event he possibly can. And yeah, he really is an incredible asset to the gym. All
That
right,
is
so
not a
approaching.
very good hold, the one that Lauren just fell off.
I
as well,
know,
it's
yeah, I
gross.
feel bad. It's again, I think you really have to flick the foot out to that yellow hold you can see on the right there, that little triangular
Or-
thing,
Yeah, or getting the heel as I think Kim.
like the
Kim got
high heel.
Before. Yeah, high
It
heel.
was a
on the
high
left
heel?
Side,
Yeah, okay.
Left side cheetah.
Yeah.
I think that was the intended beta hat. Kind
I
of
think the
headset
beauty
that
of it
boulder.
is finding your way,
Yes. Super
making
cool.
sure that you understand how your body can move most efficiently, and then executing on the day. So a lot of this is like, we talk about proprioception a lot in climbing. So understanding your body, understanding the way it moves and how you can execute climbing movement, it's super important.
When will we get a top here by Gabe? I reckon.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
God. That was very
easy.
exciting.
That was awesome. And
So-
that's bigger than you think as well.
That is bigger than you think, and that's at an angle as well. So you really have to push really close into the wall, hug yourself really tight, and his commitment there was really good. I think he knew it was a jug, and when I say jug, I mean a hole that has a lot of space within it.
Like a jug.
Yeah, like a water jug. You can imagine that if you wrapped your hand around the rim of it, you can fit a lot of your fingers and even your wrist sometimes. Not that you want to pull super hard with your wrist, but just getting the edge of it on a hold can be super important, especially on sloping holds. But he avoided the crimp there out to the right, so instead of going out right and then stamping down hard with his right foot, he ended up just, committing to the jump, which again works to his advantage. So again, knowing your body, knowing the way that you move best, gives you the best advantage to execute some really
Trent.
cool climbing movement.
Hey, Trent,
Hey Lana,
I got a really cool fact for you.
what's the fact?
Did you know that this is the biggest states ever in all of Australia?
Oh, whoa. Is that for real?
Apparently.
Wow, that's super
That's what my
interesting.
intel, Andrew Chen, head youth coach of Australia, just told me.
I think also the quality of this event is reflected in the amount of people that have come to the event as well. So everyone who, paid their entry, who are members to SCV, you are all incredible in making events like this happen. Again, another huge shout out to Boulder Lab, who have worked super hard to ensure that the route setting is of high quality, that the experience for the parents, mostly being the spectators, and then obviously the climbing experience as well, as enjoyable as possible.
We had over 400 competitors today.
Did we really?
Over all the categories. That's pretty...
Oh my gosh. You know what though, like reflecting on it, I'm not surprised by that. So when I was gearing up my younger kids to come and climb today, I was saying to them, yeah, it's going to be really chill in the morning, but when I rocked up at 6:30, there was a huge line out the front, and I just knew from the get-go it was going to be a super exciting day. When I say my kids as well, I don't actually mean my kids. I mean the kids that I coach. And I think that points to the really invested role you have as a coach of really caring for your athletes.
He is Papa Trent.
Yeah. I try to bring a really good energy for the kids and support them as much as possible. It's really important in the younger years of climbing to have as much fun as possible. We don't want to make the sport this really daunting thing. A lot of kids were questioning me and saying, you know, how many people are going to be there? How daunting is it going to be? And it's hard to say. And so seeing so many young athletes come out today, again, to support the sport and execute all this awesome climbing is really, really cool. It's such an awesome community to be a part of.
Being a kids coach, how much do you think you focus on the parents as well? Like, you know how when people say, oh, being a vet is actually like helping out the owner?
Good call. I think reflecting on my time in sport when I was much younger, I played a lot of different sports, and the volunteers, which were the parents, was probably the most important aspect, right? They're the ones driving the kids. They're the ones paying their way into the sport. And yeah, so what I'm trying to get at, Lana, is I think it's probably the most important thing is developing a relationship not only with the athletes, personally for me, with the athletes that I coach, but also with their parents. So making sure that we can build a community that we all agree is the right community for us. And really, it's just the beginning for the sport here at Boulder Lab. I don't know much about the other youth programs at other gyms. Probably only Bayside. I know a little bit about Bayside. Shout out to Angus Cameron, who's a coach over at Bayside. But yeah, it's cool to think how we might all be able to support each other to raise some of the best climbers, not only in the state, but perhaps even in the country, and then go compete on the big stage in the IFSC World Cups.
Yes, trying out the heel. I love it.
Okay, so that's the heel you're talking about. Oh, damn, she's got nothing there.
I wish she tried it earlier. That's all right. Sometimes that's just the way that cookie crumbles.
Priscilla not quite getting on the top of that one.
But she tried her hardest, and that's what matters the most.
I think that's us done for Open B, male and female. Oh, no. No, I'm wrong.
Oh, just joking.
Just joking. We have one more climber.
Jamie Chen. I reckon Jamie's going to cruise this. And we got
We're lying
Jono
to you guys.
Wong
We
as
have a
well.
couple more competitors to go.
Oh, so close.
Didn't quite coordinate the hands as well as he probably could have. Kind of committed to the left, but wasn't thinking so much about the right. And again, that keyword of coordination there is super important, because what's required of you is to think hard about what you can do. There you go. So he sticks the move there. The movement was very committed, right? So you saw him putting all his energy into the next bit. A little bit hesitant here. Oh, taking a bit of a barn door there. So a barn door is where you're sort of swinging away from the wall, getting into this crimp, stamping the foot really hard. Oh, super cool. That's a big jug at the top there. You'd be pretty disappointed if you dropped that thing.
It's interesting how much more information you get on a climb that your body can use just after one small attempt as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The body learns really quickly in a sport like this.
Come on.
Oh, wow, okay.
That was a really cool knee bar as
well.
Oh,
just couldn't grab on there.
I reckon she's got it. She knows what to do now. Really cool beta from Jamie, though, getting a toe hook and also a knee bar. Very cool.
I think as well for Priscilla before, if she was able to find that crimp on the side of that big volume piece, that she might have had a chance. But again, you never really know how tired a competitor might be. You know, sometimes it's easy for them to almost like fake their way through it and look super strong all the time. Having your muscles popping out of your tank top probably tells a bit of a story there. But yeah, again, energy preservation is super important. Staying fueled in climbing is also really important. So quick shout out to Clif, who have sponsored this event today. They gave us all the energy to just keep it going today. People have had some really early mornings and really late nights. Yeah, so shout out to Clif. Thank you very much.
Just so you guys know, as well as a lot of other people today, Trent and I have been here since 6:30 a.m. and it is 8 to 12 at the moment. So if we aren't making sense, there's a reason.
There's a reason for that. Again, going low, you can see the chalk marks on the volume there, which indicate where those crimps are. It's another really important tactic when you're approaching either a boulder, and not in this mode of sport, but if you're climbing a sport climbing on rope, looking for chalk marks. Oh, and she's got the top. That is the biggest eruption we've got. That is super exciting. Really cool to see such an attractive and cool looking boulder like that be topped. You know, it's just screaming to be climbed. Really punchy yellow color. I wonder actually if it was a different color that it would be as cool looking.
Pink. fluoro pink.
Pink, fluoro
Gotta be
pink,
one
you
of my
reckon?
favorite hold colors. I love fluoro pink. I
Yeah,
don't even
fluoro
like
pink.
pink that much as a color. Like I wouldn't really wear it unless it was dark. But pink holds, I love it. Electric pink.
So here you get a bit of a better view of the space. So
We're changing over all
here
the
at
holds. Very
here at Boulder Lab Ferntree Gully, we've got a competition sized wall, so we could technically host a national level competition.
Checks out.
Here, I believe I've had a chat with Pat about that. Pat's our head setter in the green hoodie there, and we're just setting the next boulders.
Let 'em go. Awesome. So a bit of a break now. That was awesome though. That was cool. All right, next coming up, we've got Open A. So people that are in Open A, we have Ben Abel, Marlo Gilly, Jacob Townsend, Enrico Cabano, Owen Davey, and Dylan Gilmore. Male A. Take it away, Trent.
Where are we going? We into
Oh,
male?
female A, yeah. You want to say?
We're gonna go to a scoreboard soon to see how we went during that round. Lana just read out the male A competitors for you. I'm gonna hold off on giving you the female A competitors right now, and then we'll jump back.
All right, we have Open B women's scoreboard on the screen at the moment. In first place, we've got Jamie Chen.
And then we've got Lauren Tong in second place.
Third place, Priscilla Alice.
Fourth place, Ash Hoy.
Jade Thompson in fifth place.
And then Kim coming through the back in sixth place. So on the right, you'll see that the T stands for tops, the Z stands for zone. So remember that the top is the very top of the boulder where we've marked with red tape. The zone is the yellow tape. So yeah, keep that in mind that there's points for both, and we base it on the attempts to those things as well. So essentially, there's this term called flashing a boulder. So how do you flash a boulder, Lana? What does that mean?
You do it first, go, baby.
Yeah, so you imagine that you walk out onto the mat, you've never seen a boulder before, you look at it, you think about what you're going to do for this climb, you get on it, you climb it, you top it in one go. That is a flash. Again, thinking back to energy consumption, so good to flash a boulder where you don't have to give it too many attempts. If you get something super powerful, it can kind of zap your energy a little bit. So we actually, a lot of climbing training, you're trying to focus on flashing boulders. It shows really good proficiency in reading the problem. When I say reading, I mean getting in your brain, getting in your head, and understanding what this climb is asking you to do, and then executing that movement.
Soto's running around here. Very awesome. Ooh, Open B men's scores.
Cool, so first we have Gabrielle Teo.
Second, Lachlan McMaster.
In third place, Ayrton.
Fourth, Bruce Ang.
Fifth place, Jonathan Wong.
And sixth, Matra Rom.
Really cool that we've got some Boulder Lab representation there again. I'm sorry that we're doing a bit of a Boulder Lab plug-in consistently.
I'm not.
It's hard not to when you see all these Boulder Lab people in the space. I'm seeing Boulder Lab everywhere. It's all happening. We've got some awesome feedback from today, though. People are really enjoying the event, thinking it's one of the cooler events they've been to, which is really exciting.
And as you can see here, so you got 4 tops, 4 zones for the first 4 places. This is where what Trent was saying before about attempts really comes into play here.
Yeah, actually, good observation there, Lana. So obviously to top the boulder, you have to get to the zone. Technically, you could actually skip a zone and get right to the top, but rarely that's the case because you have to use that hold to get there. Otherwise, you'd have a mega reach or a mega jump to something. So we'll probably have... I mean, clearly Gabrielle's got the top there. He's won it. He did in the least amount of attempts. And yeah,
it's very strange, actually, because I can't hear myself. There's lots going on around me. I'm wearing noise-canceling headphones. All I can see is a screen. Maybe instead of talking weirdly and awkwardly for a few minutes, I will give a shout out to Happy Beaner, one of our sponsors. So they're a really small business based out of Brisbane. Really lovely pair of people. Got a lot of commitment to supporting and stocking other small Australian-owned local businesses. They had some really cool climbing hold earrings that I was very tempted to get today. Maybe I'll get some next time. There is a discount code that you've been seeing flashed on your screen, so 5% with the code SCV at happybeano.com. They also focus a lot on sustainable gear. I noticed they were selling a lot of upcycled chalk bags, which is really cool. And if you have a t-shirt or a pair of pants or a blanket that you really like, that you want to be turned into something else, you can send it to them and they will make it into a chalk bag. Trent, that was the quickest pee I have ever seen you take.
You told the people.
I told the people. The people had to know where you went.
I was super speedy.
And going to a quick ad break now. We will see you soon. We miss you, live stream.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm Philip Goebel. I'm chair of Sport Climbing Australia. I'm here at the 2023 Victorian Boulder Titles. So this competition is part of the Olympic journey for some of our Victorian athletes. So to qualify to head to national championships, they've got to do well in this competition. And then if they do well at the national competition, then they can head to the Olympic qualifier event for the Oceania region in 2024. So a really busy competition this year. We're seeing huge growth in competitions all across Australia, and Victoria is no different. We've seen an increase of almost 100 athletes from last year, which is super exciting to see, and exciting to see the growth and development of the sport across Australia. 2023 is a super exciting year for the development of high performance sport climbing across Australia. For the first time, we've seen some support from the Australian Institute of Sport. It's really going to help us integrate into the broader Australian sport system, and is going to kick off a whole bunch of work getting our high performance athletes more support as they head to international competitions. Thanks for tuning in to the 2023 Vic Boulder Titles. I hope the finals are super entertaining and fun to watch, and hopefully has given the athletes a super challenging round of boulders to get tested on.
B female and male categories, and now we're up to sort of the grand finale, if you like, of Open A finals. So we're going to have the same format again. You're 5 minutes on a boulder, you're 5 minutes off a boulder, and you continue through the 4 boulders you have. And yeah, we're your hosts. My name's Trent, and I'm with
it, Lana.
Yeah, so
Lana.
we're doing our best. Sorry if we're perhaps a little obnoxious or not quite hitting the mark, but we're having a lot of fun. We hope you guys are having a good understanding of what's happening in the space, trying to give you a strong feel for what's going on. Visually, I think that's happening very well. So again, huge shout out to the production team who have busted it these past couple of days. Been up very late, have been sleeping here at the venue. There's cords everywhere, but it's such an awesome organized event. You can see a lot of people in Fleur at the front here, all the volunteers who have gifted so much of their time to the sport.
Can't do anything without them, honestly.
Yeah,
We need more.
we need more, yeah. So if you're thinking about trying to get into climbing and want to contribute, not specifically to competition events like this, but just I guess to try and find a community and try and find the traction for the sport, I highly recommend you just punch in a bouldering or a rope climbing gym in Google Maps, and you'll be directed to a climbing gym, hopefully somewhat in your vicinity.
God, I
But
hope
again,
so.
very much dependent on your location, because
They're using the fluoro pink holds. Also, those neo holds in the corner that you see on the screen
Oh, yeah,
there,
yeah.
probably some of my favorite holds to climb on. They
Yeah.
are so good.
and they are sometimes they're deceptively hard. They're ones where you can't quite read or understand how good they might be. And again, if you imagine yourself as the climber in the position of the climber, taking a look up at the boulders, you don't really get to see how good they might be. If you were climbing at a gym really consistently and you were going into your local gym and you've got a new set that's come up, you can make some sense of how hard a hole might be because you've climbed on it before. But a lot of these competitors are also not Boulder Lab members or local climbers, so it really is a challenge.
May not be used to the holds, or kind of setting the walls as well.
Yeah, good call.
Makes such a big difference. Also, I love how good those purple holds look on the green volumes.
Yeah, so normal commercial sets at facilities and especially here at Boulder Lab as well, we don't mix colors. It's not something we normally do. One reason being is that you could really confuse the climbers by having a purple mixed with a green. And
Colorblind as well.
right, yeah, good call, actually, really good call. Not actually being able to navigate and understand what holds you're allowed to use. Typically, climbs will be tagged in a commercial set. When I say commercial set, I just mean as a general set at a local gym. You'll just have the 2 tags, and then you'll follow that color all the way up. So again, just commenting on how cool the colors look, but how difficult it might be to do that in a normal set, which I was mentioning to the setting team before. It would be cool to actually see that, but the logistics of it is quite tricky. You can see in front of you our slab problems. So we have one for the males and one for the females. Keeping in theme with the blue on the right and then switching it up to the red on the left here. Jordan from Beta Park up on the ladder there. That guy's been busting it all day,
May
all night.
Mackenzie just on the bottom from Urban Climb as well. She's a great setter. I love her climbs. I also love the way she climbs in general. Very flowy, very strong.
Bit of swagger perhaps.
Yep.
Bit of swagger.
Oh, for sure. You can see those blue holds on the right are so bad. They might look good, but they're actually so bad and not
Alrighty, we are 30 seconds off from Open A's kicking off. 30 seconds off Open A's kicking off, guys.
I think we're about to get going, Lana.
Very excited. We've got 30 seconds till Open A comes in. I'm keen. I'm so keen.
I love the simplicity of a boulder that doesn't dominate the wall. So here with this red one and this blue one, you've got a lot of vacant space in between holds, which looks really nice, and it puts a lot of pressure on the climbers to ensure that they're reading the problem well and having a good comprehension of the movement required of them to get to the top.
So true. It's also, that reminds me, it's not just about physical power at all. You got a technique, then you got to learn how to read the climb, how
Yeah.
you're going to approach it.
Yeah, it's quite a task. It's always a learning process. For all the best climbers I've met and had awesome conversations with, it really is a consistent learning process. So on the wall we've got, you want to introduce Lance?
Yeah, we got Sarah Davis, one of Boulder Lab's own. Love Sarah. I'm going to go at female Boulder one, that blue one. See how she goes. Oh, that looks
Nice.
hard.
So initially a little bit apprehensive about the movement. I think she was perhaps trying to think of a way she could do it statically. Now, when I make the statement statically, I mean that you would keep a lot of your body on holds, both in your hands and your feet, and move quite steadily or slowly towards your next hold. Whereas a dynamic movement is something that you'll see on more jumpy boulders where there's a bit more coordination involved in ensuring that you can get to the next hold. So here we look like we're sort of tip-tapping over to in between the volumes, trying to stick that left foot out to brace on, and then trying to keep the hips really close to the wall. So it looks like Sarah's just fighting with trying to keep her chest and hips really close to the wall, and you can see her just replaying those movements in her body, and again, eyeing up the top.
Really hard because that first volume, like the second volume looks pretty good to land on, but
Yeah.
the first volume does not look very good to generate some power off of that bounce.
I think the complexity there is committing to really cool seeing Sarah actually do a bit of play with her hands there, sort of trying to make the movement. But I think the difficulty is committing to the left foot, because your left foot gives you the support to then plant your right foot, and sort of tiptoeing on one foot is quite tricky.
Again, love that smile.
Yeah, I feel like it's rare to have a sport where you perhaps don't do as well as you think you might, and then you just turn around and smile and think about how good it is to be.
What else can you do as well? Sometimes it's like oh, that's a pretty silly type of smile.
I mean, you mentioned quite a bit earlier in the middle of Open B round, Lana, the importance of mindset, the importance of pushing through movement, pushing through your climbing. I think Sarah's quite resilient like that. Has suffered a couple of injuries, I think. I don't want to comment too into detail about this, but I've talked to Sarah a lot about the previous competitor herself. I think that's important to note that she was a youth competitor back in the day.
She actually won championships in 2018.
So Sarah's just putting her hands out, just trying to understand how she might get over to that left hold. She's bouncing around with her hands and her feet to understand and sort of rehearse the movement. It's something we talk a lot about in climbing, is rehearsing movement. So understanding the ways in which you can execute in your body, you first have to do that in your head and visualize in your head. And visualization is actually a very complex task to do. It's something that I talk about a lot as a coach. And then generally in life, right, it's like this idea of thinking positively about the experience to come and trying to really imagine yourself on the wall. So I think what Sarah's doing right now is she's trying to think about the size of her body position, and how she can sort of push into those positions that she needs to be in to get to this zone. So, yeah.
Just having a look at the clock as well. All right, is she going for a slightly different approach? No. Oh, that was good.
Didn't
I
quite
wonder if she's pushing
get
herself
over to the
away by
left.
trying to gain her balance on the wall when she's making that move. It's quite interesting push and pull, hey? All right, give it everything, Sarah. Let's go.
Pulling on again. We don't have the time up at this point,
Oh.
but hopefully we get that for you so you can understand the pressure Sarah might feel as well. We've got just over 30 seconds to go. Clock counting down is always something really daunting. We might catch Sarah turning around at the clock that's facing directly behind her to have an understanding of how many attempts she might have. So there she goes. She just turns around and has a look. Yeah. I love these moments. Sometimes it's super exciting to see people just get to the next position they're going for. Oh, she was super close on that.
Rushed it. So you do have to use the zone hold, grab it, or use it to move off of it. You can't just slap it, unfortunately.
Yeah, good call, Lana. You need to move off the hold in a steady fashion. So Sarah is slapping the hold there. She's not quite making use of it, and unfortunately she doesn't make the zone on that. Next up, we've got Roxy Perry.
From Tasmania.
Yeah, from Tasmania. I think Roxy recently opened up her own facility,
Yes.
or is somewhat
Yes.
in co-ownership with a facility,
Rocket
which is
Derwent
really cool.
Park.
What's it called?
Rocket in Derwent Park.
Yeah, and it looks so pretty. Like, I
So
think I saw some
gorgeous.
pictures of like a big mural inside the
Yes.
facility. So having that representation of art in the space and making it lively and colorful is really cool. As if we needed any more color in a space where you have all a bunch of colorful holds in it. But yeah, anyway, we've also got the first male competitor out as well. Into the red boulder.
Owen Davey. Yep. There we go. Owen Davey giving it a shot.
4-point start. 2 tags for the hand, 2 tags for the feet.
Look at how crisp that red looks. Probably my favorite color, my favorite kind of red.
Yeah, the red's
So
looking
you
a
all
nice
know.
rich color in the video here. I love it. So making his way to the zone. I think he'll get the zone for that because he's making a strong move with his legs and his hips coming off the hold. And this is quite an awkward position to be in. Just needing to edge his way over to the left. I don't know that that toe's on anything. I can't quite see in the shadow there, but I think he's going to try and slide it down. Oh, wow. So I think on his next attempt, he's going to want to try and slide the left foot down to the edge of that volume and then almost make a little jump once he has the foot. The problem there was that he had nothing to brace onto. But again, I actually saw an interesting video not long ago on Instagram because it's flooded with climbing stuff, and people are using volumes to sort of slide on them. The setting styles are becoming more complex, more sort of parkour oriented, which is sort of dividing the climbing community a little bit.
Personally, don't know how I feel about it, but you know, I think a good mix of both is good.
I agree, Lana.
So we got Roxy Perry, also originally from Victoria. Used to be a squad kid at Bayside Rock.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Static here. I love this. I was thinking about this. Yes.
Okay,
come on,
that's cool.
Roxy. That's
Wow.
really cool. I love this.
Looking awesome, but again, there's not much to push onto. Those volumes are literally just pushing you off. It's like a water slide.
Full span here as well. Roxy
Oh,
is quite
wow.
small.
Smiling as well, coming off the boulder and
love
smiling.
it,
It's
I
so
love
cool.
it.
It's so
I mean,
cool.
what else can you do, really?
Yeah.
All right, so Owen here looking pretty comfortable by the time he gets to the zone hold.
Okay, so he's back in this position again. Right hand is in a really awkward spot. It's really hard to grip onto that from that angle with his wrist. Again, I think he's going to try and make a slide down.
Bumping
His
that
vision
foot
is really
down,
impaired, so it's
yeah.
difficult for him to land on it. But he's just connected,
Aw.
really strong in the hips. And this is where I question whether he might go slow to this next hold or actually make quite a committing dynamic move to it. This is really exciting.
Come on.
Palming
come
into
on,
the
Owen.
wall. I think he's going to commit.
He might commit, have a catch. Yes,
Oh,
that
wow.
was
Awesome. He's pumped about that. Look at that.
Nice. Love the energy.
That
love
is
the
so exciting. And look at the tank top, red and red with the boulder. I really like that. He looks perfect for the camera there. Really cool. I think maybe his height will play big into an advantage on that boulder.
But only sometimes, which is what I love about climbing.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
advantages are some weaknesses and limitations on other boulders as well, which is awesome. The great equalizer.
Yeah, I
Height.
think typically you'll have people come into the gym and they'll say, oh, I've got a really tall friend. Are they just going to skip all the problems? And that is actually, the setters are always conscious of height. And we're also thinking about the differences between females and males in relation to height and size, and how we might actually push someone into a specific movement sequence. Typically, for the women's boulders on the slab wall, they will be really flexi oriented. When I say flexi, I mean testing the flexibility. So Roxy is showcasing that right
A
now.
lot of mobility on her.
Lot of mobility. Surely doing lots of yoga flows.
Aw.
Just
I know Roxy has expressed she isn't the most comfortable with dynamic movement, so I can see how she's trying to static it here. But
Look at the
still,
grin.
setters have kind of forced that semi-dynamic catch to the zone hold, which has been testing our first two boulderers, unfortunately.
I speak to a lot of people about the complexity in moving to holds. There's this time where you're not in contact with the wall, so you don't have hands or feet on particular holds, and you need to make sure that you can stay stable and braced, typically through the midsection of your body, to make sure you're transitioned to the next climbing position. So here, in the case, to the left hold to the zone, is almost in the end position you want to be in. But committing to that movement is what's really, really scary at times. I'm going to be open and admit that slab is not my forte, and I prefer overhung, powerful moves. But it's really important that we're testing the athletes in a competition setting like this on all styles of bouldering.
Oh,
Good job.
Last attempt, though.
Yeah,
Gotta
really
give it
good
all
last
on the
attempt.
last attempt.
All right, so time's up. Our next couple of athletes will be coming out. Just a reminder, it is a 5-on, 5-off format. You'll be on for 5 minutes, you'll be off for 5 minutes, and you'll just keep on going. You may be a little bit confused in the corner there, seeing these two red climbs. The importance is that they're tagged and that the setters have worked hard to understand. Because I think the red one in the roof is actually...
It's a female boulder.
Yeah, it's a
too,
female
yeah.
boulder. And you can see it's quite a distance away. The camera angle we had before made it look like it was really close. But there is no opportunity for the climbers to use other red holds on these climbs. They're clearly separate. Almost like a canvas of a painting. You imagine like an exhibition. These boulders are like the beauty of our climbing scene, you know.
I do like to take a step back and have a look at what the artistry is around it. So we got Sarah Davis swinging around, going for the zone on Boulder 2.
Oh, so cool. I love these double catch climbs. It's really important that when you hit that next hold that you're really braced through your arms and your shoulders. If your shoulders are really extended out, not only you might hit your feet on the floor and have to come off the boulder, because if your feet hit the floor, you're essentially using that as some support. That you have to commit and be above the hold and sit into it with really strong arms and strong tummy.
Just dry firing off of that hold. Can you explain what dry firing is, Trent?
Oh, yeah, okay. So back to that discussion about chalk and the importance of having really good friction against the holds. Dry firing is where you might be applying a lot of pressure to a hold, specifically a smaller edge like these crimps on the wall, and you just all of a sudden kind of slip off.
Pop.
Yeah, so the dry...
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it can be very shattering for sure. Enrico looked really strong in qualies. I got to see him top one of the harder boulders. A really dynamic black boulder, which was really cool. There you go. So Sarah's kind of in a lower position there in the scapula and in the shoulder when she caught it, but she is quite strong. So she was able to just brace into there. Sorry, Lana, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, do you reckon she has a license for those guns?
You're such a dork.
Sorry.
I love it.
Sorry. Right, look at her shoulders though. Come on, Says.
So dropping back down to have a little bit of a shake out there. Getting familiar with the way that she might move into it. Dropping that right foot and hugging really tight with her hips in. We might get two tops here. Two double tops. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Red and red. Really cool. Awesome. So we missed Enrico going there. I would like to see the ways in which he...
just in the corner, yeah.
I want to see what he did on that transition to the really small hold on the volume. And when I say that small, it's probably like... I'm familiar with those cheetah holds. I think it's probably like a centimeter, maybe a centimeter and a half wide. And keep in mind that the angle slopes you back off that volume, so it's really hard, quite hard. Oh, nice.
We got clear hold, catching that zone hold.
Yeah, key thing there was that she went slower to it. It looked like she just needed to commit to the foot, and then she was able to sit into that position a little bit better.
And that hold is so bad. You kind of do need to go a bit slowly because you can't catch it with that much momentum.
Yeah, you have to rely on your feet. So crazy position. Oh, and so similar to a dry fire, she just had a bit of a foot slip there. And the really cool thing was there was showcasing the female's ability to be super mobile, super flexible as they're attacking these slab boulders. Rocking that knee over her toe really hard, which applies more pressure to her toe and gives her the confidence to try and press up for the end. I really think it'll be quite a slow finish. You don't want to stand up too high to top it. You'll want to stay really low with the hips below the climb and kind of suck in really tight to top it. So yeah,
definitely learned that from climbing on those holds. Sometimes you think that they're going to be good, but the edges are nothing. You do really have to stay very low.
Yeah, where you don't have the ability to grip onto things really hard, you need to manipulate your shoulders and your hips. All right, here we go. Let's see how fast she goes for this, because I feel like, and going with the right foot through, I like that.
Yeah, the cross.
Okay, just slipped off with the right foot. She's only got 1 minute left as well. Sorry, Lana, I'm interrupting you. I've had too much caffeine today. I'm going 100 miles an hour. Nice. Just grabbing on at the end. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If you watch her right foot as she comes up here, she's going to rock her knee really hard over the top, which is going to apply more pressure. So she needs to push, 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 get over the top. She's going to try and palm down with her left hand, so a lot of strength coming through the tricep. But the foot just slips.
Just shows you how bad that edge is. It
smiling.
Looks like it, but it's not very good. Yeah, love the smile.
I actually love it. It's so funny. It's I don't know. Not to say that other sports you don't have like people enjoying, perhaps not doing their best, but I feel like in climbing, especially if you've been to a climbing gym, you understand the support that everyone has for one another and the general hype you can go. Like you can go into a gym and you'll be trying this hard climb and you'll fall off and someone will be like, you know, you can do that, jump back on, like try really hard, which is really cool.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I really do feel like it's really, really supportive. Even if you're falling off, that means you're trying hard. So we also have Kate Mendel starting on Boulder 1. I was with her for Boulder Fest finals, actually. She is very strong and very sweet from Brisbane.
And Boulder, do you want to talk about Boulder Fest, Lance? Like who hosts that? What's going on there?
Of course. Shout out to Urban Climb, Boulder Fest. which is their social bouldering competition. It is huge.
Yeah,
and
it looks mega.
And I go from Melbourne to Brisbane just for that, and that shows a lot. Also for the sunshine, though. 'Cause shout out to Brisbane weather.
Yeah.
Jacob
All right.
Townsending on this boulder.
All right, so we're seeing the left foot brace a little bit on the edge of the volume there, but again, sliding through. He doesn't have his foot on the higher volume, so I think this is perhaps the wrong way because it's going to be really hard for him to press up. The yellow taped finger, so you sort of press it with your thumb, I think. You're not going to be able to push super hard. Oh, he's proved me wrong very well there.
I love it.
Well done. Going really low. Probably going to make the same dynamic movement in. Well
the
done.
top, amazing. Go,
I loved that. I feel like my general apprehension about committing to feet on a slab came through there in my commentating. But he was just so confident pressing into the foot again, pressing his knee over his toe, standing up, and then making the top on men's boulder number 1.
So we had Owen Davey just slipping off the last hold on boulder 2. So let's hope that he can make it again on his next attempt.
Well done. So you see Roxy grabbing that kind of at full length. Her arms were really outstretched when she grabbed it. It's kind of like a spring. She almost like dropped into it and then pulled back. She's going to pull back up here to get to this next hold. Again, really flexing in the hips here to get the feet up. Bracing, pushing through.
Super good shoulder strength as well. Coming up over that overhung lip.
Leaning really hard. You can see her hips literally making contact with the wall. She's hugging so close to it. It's interesting in climbing. You have to get really intimate with the wall and the holds. Looking strong. Get nice. An elaborate finish there. Really cool to see that from Roxy. A bit of emotion coming out. I think she's feeling pretty tired on that one. And to see her get the top there is really cool.
So Owen giving it a second attempt.
Wow, that's a high heel. That is a high heel.
2.
So when you're engaging with a heel, you're looking, switching to a toe because of the slip there, which was really cool, really quick sort of movement. Oh, wow, he was actually so close to that.
So tiring. Hey, that actually looks super difficult.
To me, that move looks really uncomfortable. You have to when you're placing a heel, it's all in your hamstrings, so you're pulling really hard on your hamstrings and in your ankles and also your calves. And it's interesting to see him slip there and then switch to his toe, and then essentially was pulling on his toe and bracing his toe to try and get to that top. Again, I think height might play a big advantage for Owen here. He looked pretty outstretched for that last hold and was really close. And that black hole at the top, which you can't quite see in the footage right now, is really bad. It's seriously like a lie. You look at it and you think it's really good, and then all of a sudden it's not doing it for you.
Right, giving it another shot. How's it gonna go? Also, some of these volumes may look good on the live stream, but they are not good in reality, I'll tell you that. The edges are not as good as they seem.
So, men's boulder 2 here literally has volumes screwed onto volumes. So there's not actually any small holds to get onto. So a lot of the climbers are relying on their ability to stay really close and intimate with the volumes themselves.
And compression strength, a lot of compression
Right,
strength.
and wrapping with your wrist. You need to wrap your wrists around those triangles and find the right angle, find the right friction to move off the holds. But again, if you don't stay in contact with the wall and you don't stay intimate with the wall, you're going to come off. I think Owen's done on the black boulder. He looks pretty gassed after that. I feel like he gave it a really good crack and then was sort of...
valid.
He needs to save his energy, though, as well. He's only 50% through the boulders. He's only done 2, so he's got 2 more to go. Super important that he makes sure he's ready for the next one.
Kate getting super close here. I really think the way that Cleo did it with the foot cross was the way. Just makes you a bit more stable.
And the reason being is like it was right foot through first. So Kate's going left foot through, which means you have to switch the feet and then flick it out. Oh, super close. So going this method is quite tricky. You need to stay really close to the wall. But yeah, so who did we have doing the right foot through?
Cleo Hall.
Cleo. So Cleo was going the right foot through. It'll be interesting to see how the other female climbers approach that boulder.
Just also want to mention that Cleo Hall did brush some of the holds at the end for the next competitor, which is excellent sportsmanship.
Again, showcasing how supportive the climbers are of each other. So what they do is they sit in isolation, so they haven't actually seen the boulders. They sit behind like a big, it's almost like a big tent, and they're just in there all alone. Sorry, they're not all alone. They're all together.
They're all alone.
They're all alone. They're warming up. They're keeping their limbs super warm and ready to fire when they come out, and they're talking about the boulders. I don't know where I was getting at with ISO. I have no idea.
Gilly from Brisbane on Boulder 1 male.
Quite a harsh wrist position on the left, and then it comes into the right where you get into another quite awkward wrist position.
Enrico, can he go? Oh,
Enrico looking really strong.
Can he get the first top?
I really like his... So
the top.
what you saw then is his hand was in strong contact with the left volume, but he pressed up high with the right foot, which didn't allow his left heel to get in contact with the volume to support himself, and that's when he came off.
Congratulations on Marlo and Tao on the top. Sorry to interrupt you, Trent.
Mao topped it?
Mao topped it now.
Who are we
Tao
talking?
did top it.
Tao, yeah, sorry, it's Tao Murasawa.
Tao
I'm getting her
flashed it.
last name mixed up with her. Tao flashed it. Wow. Okay, I'd
Classic,
love to see how
classic
Tao
Tao.
does it. Just as a bit of information, Tao is... How old is she?
I think she might be 15. She's
Yeah.
a special exception to compete
Tao-
in open
Tao
A
is
for
15.
obvious reasons.
And climbing in an open category, like, that's really impressive. She's definitely one of the stronger athletes in Victoria and perhaps across the country. Climbing really hard at the elite program at Boulder Lab, which is really cool. And now we find ourselves back at female boulder number 2. Again, taking a big break here. If you're climbing on really powerful moves, you want to take a really big break in between your attempts. Otherwise, if you find yourself going straight into the next one, you're going to be really gassed out for the next move.
You want to give it all on your attempts. You want to make sure you got enough beans to make that pop.
Yeah, more beans, more beans. I really want to climb this boulder.
I know, I'm so excited to try them out.
Yeah. So pressing really hard into the volume there, strong shoulders, staying nice and stretched out. She doesn't really want to pull too hard. She'll want to pull when she makes her movement to the left hold. Okay, so we're going a heel here. I think it's too far to make this, but we'll see. You'd be really outstretched with the left shoulder, and I think she's adapting her movement now, and she's going to try and swing into it.
Lots of thinking going on here. I like it. I love to see the brains tick as they are climbing. It's very interesting to me.
Maybe trying a feet first method here. Oh no, I think she's just going to try and swing into it. Wow. I think the go is to try and be sideways on that red one. Oh, come on. Strong belly, strong belly, strong belly.
Yeah,
Wow.
awesome.
Bit of
Enrico
emotion
with
there,
that
really
first
cool.
Top on male 2. That was awesome. I love that energy.
so
that
cool.
was sick. Getting the crowd psyched. So we got Sarah Davis having a look on female boulder 3. Looks quiet, tricky actually, but it does look cool, which is nice.
I think what Enrico did there showcased the twisting motions you need to be familiar with when you're climbing. So he positions himself in a way where he knows he's going to roll over into it. We've actually lost a bit of... oh no, we're back.
Just joking.
We're back.
It's a full body sport, really is. Not just arms and legs, hey.
Yeah, good call. Good call. I've been definitely doing a lot more stability work, so through my shoulders, through my legs as well, particularly my hips. I'm quite immobile, and I get really jealous of a lot of my friends who I climb with, female climbers specifically. Lana, you're actually really flexible, and it's really fun climbing with you on slab and trying to learn and adapt to your movement.
I find that really interesting because I learn a lot from you climbing overhang. But I did do a lot of yoga.
Right, right.
Also,
yeah.
Tao is 14, not 15.
Okay, it's just 14.
Oh my
so
Lord.
back to the comment about Tao and her ability to be a really strong competitor in the open A category. Being 14 years old and versing adults who have, I mean, it's not simply about being an adult, but having the experience some of these competitors have. I think she was trying to go for a method where she might dive into that volume down in the left of your screen and then bounce back, which is quite aggressive.
It's
But
really cool route reading, though. Very interesting.
yeah, I think a lot of it is, again, you've only got a certain amount of time to commit to the movement. So you might try a certain beta. Again, so let's call that a certain method or approach to your climb. And it might not work. So you need to try and correct yourself. But you may actually find that the first method you used was the way to go. And so you just want to be really conscious of what is the best way to do the climb, what is going to save your energy, depending on what boulder you're on. So if you're climbing on, say, boulder 1 or 2, you probably don't want to do anything too taxing. So I'm talking specifically about like campus movement. But interesting how they're actually forced into a campus move on female boulder number 2 with the big jump and double hand catch.
I also find it interesting to have features or maybe holds that might not necessarily have to be used, but kind of trick the climber into thinking that they might have to incorporate it somehow.
And I think it's interesting to think whether that's like a naturally occurring thing from the setters or whether it's a thing that comes Did I say natural first? No, sorry. Whether it's intentional from the setters or whether it occurs more naturally, and then the climbers are all intuitively. Okay, Ben's got a really quick top there. He's looking really confident. So looking at the time, it literally took him less than 50 seconds to get on top of that.
He's from Newcastle, and he's a bit of a young gun. I mean, 24, 23, I think, still younger.
Younger than me.
Younger than us.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Jacob
Oh,
Townsend.
wow.
Oh, just dropped the top.
Going the wide method there, really stretched out on the right hand. There's not much to pull on the left, which makes it really difficult to brace himself to match at the top. Again, you need to have 2 hands on the top hold and be really steady in that position for it to count as a top.
That hold is good, but it's not that good, especially going from that angle.
On this angle, it's actually really bad. It looks like a bit of a we're not set on it in the camera at the moment, but we might see it if we zoom out on the black. Is that
looks like a jug, but it's actually quite slopey inside.
Looks like a little birdhouse almost.
Cute.
All right, so we're gonna have we're really busy now on the floor. So we've got 4 competitors out now. Our last female, is it our last female competitor on the slab now?
Last female, Emily Scott.
Owen's now on men's boulder number 3, so we're going to see a toe catch for the start here. Again, bracing through the hamstring and trying to drop your hips really close to the floor, but then you've got to pounce out of it, so pull hard through the arms. And it's looking like it's really hard to generate a lot of power for that move. And I swear to you, that hold, that next one, is really bad.
So trash.
I know that hold very well. I'm very familiar with it. You'll commonly see it on quite tricky boulders around the lab. It's not to say you can't use it on easier boulders, but typically we'd use it as a foot as opposed to a handhold, which says a lot about the quality of the hold. And it makes it even trickier going from the toe catch or the toe hook start and then moving out of that. It'd be interesting to see if he goes over with the left hand or tries to go over left.
Interesting to see whether people change their... Oh, no.
So again, trying with the right hand and not quite able to brace and match for the finish. Again, I think this boulder might be not a tall person problem, because we saw Enrico get it, but he's exceptionally strong, was able to stay really close into the wall with his hips and then get over the top of it.
Enrico also sets at a wide number of gyms here in Melbourne. I know.
Yeah, where's he at? Yeah, Blockhouse.
And also the Crux.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure at least one more place that I cannot remember off the top of my head, but.
I've been noticing a lot amongst gyms in Melbourne at the moment is a lot of cross setting. So I've set with a couple of the Blackburn crew at Boulder Lab before. I know of Boulder Lab setters going over to Blackburn. I think Rocket Climbing, which is less of a sort of competition style gym, perhaps more of like an outdoor style gym out in the west.
Shout out to Rocket.
Yeah, I've never been to Rocket yet, but it looks really cool. Yeah, apparently very hot. Wow. Owen making.
Owen got the beta there with the double.
Yeah, so my comment before about how bad that hold is perhaps a little bit irrelevant, seeing Owen sort of push hard on it and kind of like propel onto the next one. All right. Can he make it? All right, going with the really high hill. Again, knee over toe, keeping those hips really tight into the wall. Pressing now. Oh, wow, well done.
Beautiful.
Can he get the match? Well done. Super impressive. So a key fix there was, I think, rocking harder over on the right toe and then actually getting the press with the left palm. It kind of helped him to sort of brace and find a bit of tension where he was pulling on the right hand, pushing with the left, and then being able to get into a really strong spot to get the match. All right, observe Owen's hips here that have to drop really low for the start. So he'll drop them really low, and then he has to dynamically move out of it. So hips close to the floor, pumping out of that. Oh, really close.
He knows what to do, but just can't quite catch it, and fair enough, that is a big distance in between with not a very good hold to generate power off.
Just a reminder for all the climbers watching at home, well, not even the climbers at home, just the people watching at home. These finalists have literally been climbing all day, so they've had qualification rounds. Roxy's going to try and rush to the finish here. She's only got 3 seconds. I don't think it's enough.
But at least she got the zone, which is awesome.
I think she's a little bit frustrated by that. It can be like that where you figure out the movement, you understand how you have to move your body, and then you don't have the time to actually execute. I'm really interested to see how Enrico goes in this. He looks really powerful. He's kind of a shorter, perhaps stockier build, quite similar to myself actually. and those kind of types of bodies are known for like really powerful, punchy climbing. Again, I don't want to assume anything about a particular body type that you need to execute powerful movement, but I'm really excited to see him climb. He's really surprised me today how powerful he actually is. I've heard that he was on the youth national circuit, perhaps in Italy. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to comment too much on that, but a really strong climber nonetheless. So he's trying to get really pumped up here. I think he knows he has to try really hard. Dynamically moving in. Oh, wow. Okay, trying to stop on that right hand. Not quite being able to grab it. Again, the camera angles are going to be jumping around. We've got 4 competitors on the boulders now. Here's our 14-year-old Tao Murasawa making easy work of the first jump. Popping that heel in. Moving with finesse. Like really trying to flow through this climb. You can see her thumb actually engaging in the bolt hole there, trying to push in where she can. You're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to push your fingers into the bolt holes themselves. Wow, looking very strong. Well done, Tao.
Perfect. Another top from Tao.
You know what? I never expect her to not top a boulder. Yeah. Oh, wow. And Rico's just topped the blue one. He was facing the crowd looking super explosive. Now he needs to calm down. He needs to relax. That hold is really good. Again, we refer to that as a jug. Using his momentum with the left to pop himself up there. I think this top looks quite tricky. It'll be interesting to see how he can make it work.
He's got beautiful control over his entire body.
He looks amazing while he's climbing. Oh, well done.
Beautiful.
Finding that tension right. Pulling on the arms. Pushing with the feet. Locking himself in. And he was
about to get to the sorry, Trent.
No, I'm just so excited. I just keep going for it. And we got another top. Really cool to see. Female number 3 topped.
That's 3 tops. Let's go.
And I think we're going back over. No, Tao topped the red. And then, no, that's it. Because Tao's our...
Tops for everyone, right?
Oh, no, Emily was our last competitor. So Emily will still come out onto the red one, I think. Yeah.
It's hectic out here, okay? You got to be kind. You got to be kind to us.
On the blue boulder, where the yellow tape is there on the screen, we saw Enrico get like what's called a drop knee. So essentially he's placing his right foot on that hold, and then he's twisting his knee. Oh, Sarah's on boulder 4. That's why. We haven't seen Sarah at all in this round. We're 2 minutes in. But yeah, Enrico was doing what's called a drop knee, so he's placing his toe really hard on the right hold, twisting his knee internally into his body, which gets him closer to the wall and gets his body tension really strong to try and top that finish. I thought he wasn't going to be able to make it, and I think I'm focusing too much on the handhold when I was looking at it, but he made easy work of it.
Sarah Davis, just want to give a shout out to her because she's had 2 pretty bad injuries, works full time, and is planning a wedding, and still made it to Vic State Finals. So
yeah, I really hope I get an invite to the wedding.
I'm sure you'll get an invite.
I don't know. Oh, there's Oscar. That's Oscar who's been emceeing all day. He's been busting it, and now he's brushing up climbs.
I don't know how he's doing this.
That guy is actually a machine.
He's had 2 hours sleep.
I mean, I don't know why he has sunnies on like that. I think the light's actually really bright, and he prefers to sort of dull it a little bit.
It's because he's cool, bro. He is actually.
So Sarah's gonna pull onto this quite awkward wristy position. She's switching up her hands in those positions, and just pulling on through really hard. Oh, okay, making good work of that movement there. Again, looking back at the clock, trying to think about how much time she has, how many attempts she might have left. She's got her last boulder here, so she probably won't be afraid to give it a real good crack and commit to it. But again, you never really know how much energy these climbers have. They've been going all day, trying to get fuel in, trying to go really hard. Here she goes.
Oh, so close, that zone hold.
It's almost like on a loop there, isn't it? Attempt the boulder, walk across the boulder, look at the clock.
Taking her hand off that left hand hold would help her if she swung her arm back, but
yeah, maybe. I think I see what you're saying, like trying to get momentum with the hand, but I guess the right hand might not be good enough.
Yeah, true.
Oh, she's really close to that.
Close. I really want her to keep trying till the very end. I mean, you may as well just try and get that zone. Hey.
I think the right hand up and the left hand down makes more sense to me.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, so close.
Loud,
she's gonna go one more time.
Come on,
Sarah. I love this.
Come on.
Oh,
so
well
close.
done.
Such a good attempt right to the very end. That's all you can ask for.
Competitors
really.
smiling at each other there, Roxy and Sarah, super psyched for each other.
Love it.
So where are we at now? We've got Roxy on female 4. We've got Owen on men's 4.
Well.
Who have we got on men's 3?
Abel making light work of men's boulder 2, of course.
Yeah, he's looking pretty comfortable.
See, he
Again,
gets
you
the
can see the
flash.
wrap of the fingers there around the volume. Getting the press here. He's quite long, so I think he should get this quite easily. Wow, he looks really comfortable
So
there.
much control. Such a beautiful climber.
Well done. He's climbing really, really well. He's climbing really well. He seems really well composed. Really sure of his movement, really careful with his movement. Perhaps not careful is the right word. But he just looks like he knows what he's doing. I think that visualization process for him is working really well. Especially when you flash a boulder like that. Again, flashing a boulder is where you do it on the first go. You take a look at the boulder, you execute it, and then you're up the top.
Come on. It's a long way away. Oh, and he just misses it though.
Just as a comment on the setting as well, we've had similar iterations of the boulders throughout the day for the finals boulders. So trying to utilize the same volumes, which are the big gray things, trying to utilize similar hold sets, so the actual color holds and the type of holds we're using, because it makes it easier for the setters to do all the changeovers. I think they've done 4 changeovers today or something ridiculous like that. So it's really been a really heavy process. So big shout out to the setting team. These things don't exist without you. And again, huge shout out to the sponsors and all the volunteers here today. It's been an incredible event, which we're coming.
Emily Scott's so strong through the shoulders.
Yeah, how strong does her back look? Oh my gosh.
Bang, bang,
Nice,
top, top.
really good job.
Awesome.
I still can't believe how incredible this setup is. If you've watched an IFSC World Cup on YouTube, or you've actually been to one in person, you'll notice the professionalism our producers have gone to make sure this is a really awesome event. So seeing the time, wow, that's cool. Wrapping hard around that hold. I actually quite like these holds. I don't know about you, Lana, but I really enjoy finding a position like this where you wrap really hard. I was talking about that before, like where you can get your wrist almost engaged, where you're trying to like curl your wrist around it.
I want to, but my TFCC injury says no.
Right, yeah, good call, Lana. Again, depends on how much power you have through your wrist, how much you can pull on it. Oh, just not quite getting that. I think once you get to that next hold, it's really important to make sure you're engaging through your core. Specifically starting at your toes, so like your whole posterior chain, stretching all the way from like essentially your heels, the back of your heels, all the way up to your neck. Yeah, trying to be like fluid, but also be like really strong, like concrete through some of these movements as well.
I love these yellow cheetah holds that Owen's on at the moment. I love them. And those huge circular volume-like situation. Pat Klein, made by Pat Klein.
Yeah, our boss is a bit of a volume man. He loves a volume.
Loves a good volume. Those green volumes on the wall. Female boulder 3 that you can just see. The yellow ones.
That is
all
such an
Pat
exciting
Klein.
move. So we might see another drop knee here. So right, see there, right knee up. Right toe up, and then dropping the knee in really hard. We can't quite see it. Or see, it's just flicked off there. So he was trying to, he's probably applying a little bit too much pressure. Perhaps it needs a bit of a brush as well on that hold to ensure that his foot's not going to slip. And it's really exciting for this competitor because he's got 1 minute left. He probably wants to have only one more attempt because it's quite a powerful move. But again, we'll see.
It is his last boulder, so he might keep going till he drops, really.
No, he does have one more actually. He's on men's 3.
He's on boulder 4.
No, he's on men's 3. Blue one.
Oh, blue. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking
Oh, you're looking at the screen,
Navi,
yeah. So
Navi.
I'm talking about something else. Lana and I are getting a bit confused here, and
can't
that
really
is
hear
a
each other.
that is a she on female number 4. Roxy trying to dive into this one.
Giving it every. Oh, damn.
You'll notice on the pink boulder there, Roxy using the momentum with her hips and her feet to propel into the hold. We've got the catch here, using momentum with the hand. The right toe is going to come up and press hard. Gets up, drops the knee in, pushes his hips really close to the wall, and he gets the top. Had a bit of a hand slip there, which was really close, which is really exciting.
That's so stress watching that.
Yeah, that was really cool. All right, so Roxy's done for tonight. Tried really hard. Everyone's tried really hard today. It's been so cool seeing such a wide variety of climbers come through. We have all our youth competitors, and then we've had our junior competitors, our open competitors, and we've had our masters competitors. So that all goes up in age there. So youth, obviously, our youngest competitors, and masters is our oldest.
She is pulling on Boulder 3.
Here's Tao. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a flash from her here. She's really, really strong.
I believe in her. I reckon she'll get it. Whoa! I jinxed her. My bad.
Yeah, interesting.
I reckon that's her height.
Perhaps. I don't know whether we missed a bit of a foot slip there.
The volumes do look like they're getting
Yeah, so she's giving it a good brush there. I think it sort of just edged down a little bit, and she wasn't able to generate off the foot.
I did see Sarah slip off there as well. So.
Yeah, so really important to stay vigilant of what's going on with the holds. We've had competitors jumping on them before Tao, so Tao's going to want to make sure that everything's brushed up really strong. Getting a cool angle of Enrico on the yellow here. Hopefully we can get you in focus, sir. There he is.
Enrico going to that super dynamically, really awesome.
I really like his climbing style. It's almost, I would probably define it as like powerful and aggressive.
I like aggressive. I like that.
Yeah, he kind of, I think you can kind of see it in his face. Right now you can see him eyeing down the boulder. He really wants it. Again, he's trying to think about his body movement, how he can sort of reposition himself to be better positioned to catch that next hold. Let's see, watch Tao's foot here.
Yes! Oh,
wow.
I can't believe she held on to that with one hand. That's
really impressive. She was fully stretched out in her scapula there. Really what I'm referring to there is her shoulder, near the back of her shoulder. She's going to have to push up really hard.
You know what? It's Tao, so I can't actually believe she did that.
She's getting really close here. I think she might try and come in for the match. So she's got really strong fingers. Well done, Tao.
Top by Enrico.
And we've got a top on yellow as well.
Same time. How good is that? Right.
Wow,
Enrico,
this is a very exciting round. I keep interrupting Lana because we're both wearing headphones and there's a crowd as well, so I keep jumping over you. I'm really sorry, Lana.
We're both wearing noise-cancelling headphones and there's a crowd and we cannot hear each other, so sorry about that.
Shout out to Bose. Please sponsor us.
Please. Bose, if you are listening right now,
please
sponsor us. From Boulder Lab. All right, Marlo getting the top.
Oh, well done. That was a really exciting round. I think we have one more competitor on. No?
Yeah.
Is anyone on the pink?
We got Ben and Emily Scott. We still got Clea Hole going on 4 as well. Looks like it's really... Oh, she got the zone hold. Yes. I think that's the first.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen the zone. You know that a move is particularly tricky if the first hold that you're throwing to is the zone itself. The climbers will know what's at stake to make that move. So we're probably... I would expect her to perhaps top this now for the end. I wouldn't expect it to be crazy hard at the top, but again, I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah,
no, that's not going very well.
Like I do like these holds, but it really depends how you use them.
I think it's a love-hate relationship.
So true.
Huge crowd out here tonight. You can see Clif, one of our sponsors, in the back there. We've been so lucky to have so many awesome people committing their time and energy to the event tonight. Again, the setters, the volunteers, the parents, the drivers, the supporters, the spectators, the people making coffees. There's so much that goes into this.
So many coffees today.
Yeah, so many coffees.
Shout out to Mallory Shelton.
Yeah, Mallory, I reckon. I actually think Mallory may have made maybe 150 coffees today or something like that.
Easily over 100 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
nice.
dialed now. She knows what to do with that.
Yeah, so
catch.
she gets the left hand to help sort of angle herself back into the wall and then kind of snatches at the hold with her right hand to provide that stability. Again, it's an interesting boulder because you're being forced to go quite quick at the start and then you have to slow down for the top end. It'll be interesting to see how she tries to grip this next hold. She went under and over last attempt, so she might be committing to one of those. Ah, damn.
Do you reckon she'll give it another shot?
I think she's pretty tired. I don't know that she will give it one more go.
Nah, she's quitting, shaking her head. Fair enough. Big old day.
Fast approaching the end.
See, look at her go. Brushing that hold. Really good sportsmanship.
All right, 5 minutes on. We've got Ben on men's boulder number 3, a really dynamic blue thing. What have we got? We've got Emily Scott on the purple and the green boulder. And who else have we got, Lana?
Kate Mendel on boulder 4. And we got Ben Abel on boulder 3.
And then who have we got on men's boulder 4?
Oh, Thompson. Thompson. Jacob Townsend, I mean.
Jacob Townsend.
Might be, guys.
Okay, Ben making light work of that first move. It's really important that Ben flashes this boulder if he wants to get ahead of Enrico, so he knows what's at stake here.
He's so
He needs to be really steady. He needs to really drop that knee as hard as he can to get really close. He's trying to just find that end position, not quite being able to find it. Yeah, really good job.
Flash.
That's really important for him to get that flash. Again, we've mentioned that it's your attempts to the zone, and it's also your attempts to the top. So I believe it took Enrico maybe 3 goes. So Ben getting that on his first attempt is really important for his placing for the podium. And I think it could be really close, to be honest. We've had quite a few tops on a lot of the boulders. So the setters will be hoping for what's called like an even split. So we've got 6 competitors. Realistically, you're hoping that the top 3 who are going to be on the podium have not necessarily topped all the boulders, but have kind of sort of dominated the round, if you like, and produced a really even split where the bottom 3 competitors are relatively equal to one another, and then the top 3 are too. But again,
that would have been a sick catch. Still a sick attempt, though.
yeah, we kind of missed a bit of that, but Jacob was just like flying in the air over to the yellow boulder. The yellow boulder that he was throwing to actually looks like the Death Star from here.
But I think the angle that it's on and where you're jumping from makes it a bit wrist intensive.
Yeah.
Nothing
good
is
call.
what it seems with open A boulders, my friends. Nothing is what it seems.
I feel like the climbers make it seem very easy. They have this way of climbing so beautifully and flowy that you kind of think to yourself, you know what, I could probably do that boulder. But for all you people coming down to Boulder Lab tomorrow to try some of these climbs, please warm up because these climbs are really intense physically. These guys and girls have just had a whole day of qualifications, and then coming into finals is really impressive to see their stamina and ability. Jacob just falling off the yellow. Emily is fast approaching the top of her boulder.
Looking very strong.
She's going for the top here and just crossing over through there really strong. So we saw Tal match that first one, but she's able to just roll through it. And again, using her twisting motion to get to the top. That was really strong from Emily. Really well done.
I do love watching how graceful they make it seem.
I know, it's like a dance.
So true. Kate Mendel here, getting a little bit frustrated not being able to catch that zone hole. It does look like it's a pretty hard coordination. Yes, it is a jug, but you do have to think about the angles. Firstly, the hold is on a volume, and you're coming from quite a corner, I reckon. You're stuck in that corner, running across these volumes.
It's a bit of a tap dance across the volumes. You want to have, again, this is a coordination boulder that's forcing you to think about your momentum, but then also be, again, this keyword coordination coming up, coordinating your feet. So you'll see her do a bit of a tap dance, kind of left first and then replacing the left with the right foot and then trying to swing out to that zone hold. Really close. I feel I don't necessarily have any sort of ways that she might reapproach this. I also don't want to assume how she might do that because I can't feel it and I'm not the competitor. But I think committing a little bit faster and perhaps even trying to leap out a little bit further might help her to get over to the hold a little bit more, because if she's lagging back, the likelihood of her swinging out or her hips sagging away from the wall and falling onto the mats is quite likely. So hopefully on this attempt she can stay really tight and close to the wall and we might see her catch this zone.
Because she does have that other, she's got more space to stab her foot out. If she goes too far.
Alright, big move coming up, Harry, I think. Oh, just not quite there. Really close.
Seeing a bit of frustration, a bit tired from Kate, which is so valid.
Yeah, it's 20 past 9, past my bedtime.
Way past our bedtime, dude. We're old.
Wow, he's so close. Yeah, we are old. We're old because we're saying we think we're old, but we're not actually that old. That's a very old person thing to say. It's very doom and gloom.
True, so true. We're old because it's 9:20 and we want to go to bed.
Yes, but our circumstances warrant this. Been going hard all day.
Don't lie to me, Trent. You're like this every night.
Yeah, I'm a get a tea, read a book in bed. And then,
Alright, I wonder if
tuck
Tao
in.
is going to flash Women's Boulder 4. My bets are on her. I believe in that little pocket rocket.
Tao's really light on her feet. She's quick. Those fast twitch muscle fibers are strong with her. Oh, see, that's a really good first attempt. The first attempt gives you a lot of confidence on your second go. So Tao's really close there. She was just sort of barn dooring out. When I use the term barn door, you can imagine literally a door with its two hinges onto a frame. Literal way that a door works. That's similarly what happened to Tao in that first go. She grabbed the hand and was just rolling out, so she needs to get that right hand over really quickly. So there you go. The right hand comes in, snatches at that right hold, making her way up.
Zone hold in the least attempt of anyone else so far.
Wow. Okay,
That's
so
unfortunate.
yes, unfortunate, but I don't think she's going to be too phased by that. I think she realizes that she just has to commit to it.
She knows what it feels like now. She knows how to readjust her body, I reckon.
She
She's got enough
perhaps-
experience.
Yeah, she perhaps rushed it just ever so slightly. Again, keep in mind she's 14, so her reach is a little bit less than some of the other competitors. So a good athlete will be able to get back onto that zone hold and execute this coordination move and then keep correcting themselves. So there she goes. She actually took that with the one hand and was able to hold the swing with her core stability. Gonna have to
She's
lean
going a
hard
lot
into this
slower
now. Lean hard, good. Very quick stamping movements with the feet. She's so focused, eyeing down these holds really intensely, thinking about where's the best place to grab it.
Try hard face on.
Try hard face on. Yeah, maybe we're going to see a bit more struggle in this spot. So kind of going for a palm position where she's pressing into it. She's going to have to... Yeah, she's going to have to pull really quite hard on that. It's interesting because there's no feet on the other side. I imagine what the climbers might do is they might actually pop a heel up. I'm looking at my screen, but maybe I'll have a peek around the corner.
Marlo also struggling to hold these holds. I reckon they're getting a bit slippery now as well. Brush is doing the best they can.
I really take back my comment before about pink having perhaps an easier top. It actually looks really hard. The end position doesn't give you any super strong feet, and if anything it might put you in quite a sketchy position if you want to try and do a high heel, but I doubt the competitors will do that. They'll have to stay really strong in their shoulders and their core to press really close into the wall and stand on top of the volume, which we know is quite a slippery surface. So yeah, Tao just taking a deep breath in. She's got 2 minutes left. She's kind of in a good position here. She's topped all the boulders. She'll really want to get on top of this one, knowing that Emily's coming through again. Taking the barn door swing there, going wide.
And no one's topped this yet, and I think that shows how hard it actually is, because Tao usually flashes pretty much
Right,
everything.
well, oh, damn. So she just went for this foot swap there, and she's just brushing her feet. I think Oscar needs to get on top of that volume.
God damn it,
There
Oscar.
you go. He's going fast. Come on, Oscar.
Come on, Oscar. All right,
I can't imagine
Marlo.
how much caffeine Oscar
Let's
has
see
in
how
his
he
system
goes
right
in this
now.
catch. Sorry, Trent.
No. I just keep interrupting you. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
we
Oh, a bit of a
are
knee bar there,
sick.
which is really cool.
Come on, Marlo. Oh, that was
Wow,
awesome.
takes
Yeah,
a
that
mega
was sick.
swing. Got to try really hard here for the end.
Is he going to top? Come on. Yes!
Well done.
Sick. Awesome top from Marlo. Big hands to the band from Brisbane.
I like the polo shirt steez. It's
Dude, and
really
it's
cool.
purple, it's
He
so
looks like
good.
he's just come from school or something like that, and he's just rocked up to the finals boulders, and it's gonna flash him. Not flash
You
him,
have
sorry,
school
but he's
at 9, but finals at 9 p.m.
gonna
Sorry,
go to
that was
school
really
and
bad,
then
guys.
school all the boulders at Victorian State Boulder titles.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. See, I feel old saying that. All right, Tao pressing again. Needs to find the foot. This looks so hard and really uncomfortable. It's come on,
I do not
Tao.
know how she's
So again,
doing
this end is
that
going to be
now.
really tricky. Oh, there's just not much to grab
I
onto.
really hope she gives it one more
I really
go.
don't know where you're going to find the tension on that, right? Because it's already so hard to grab onto. You go out to the hold thinking that you're going to find some more stability in it, and she's jumped out to the right, and she's not able to hang on. So,
Thinking maybe it's like you gotta like heel on that second last one, dropping that right foot
Right,
down,
right.
maybe like a undercling then a palm. But also, I've got no idea, and reality is so different to what you think.
So Tao's choosing to just take a seat now. She's given it her all on that boulder. I think she realizes that she might just be trying a bit too, not trying too hard on her next attempt, but you want to preserve your energy and you want to sort of keep your skin, I guess. So she's just chosen to put the shoes down, take a seat. She's given it her all. So yeah, I think we're up to our final two
I think
competitors
she's
now.
realized that she's done a pretty good job as well. So
It'll definitely be in Ben's best interest to try and get this boulder in as little attempts as possible to try and perhaps stretch. I'm not sure if he's at the top at the moment. I think he's flashed all the... Did he flash the black one? I can't remember.
He did flash all of them, yep.
He's looking very strong.
Ooh, interesting.
See if he tries to use the knee bar.
Oh.
Wow,
That was
very
awesome.
exciting climbing from Ben. He looks really comfortable tonight, really comfortable.
Another easy flash by Ben Abel.
Wow.
From Newcastle. Shout out to
Well
Newcastle.
done. That was such a quick top.
So, can I shout out a city? Does that work?
Yeah, you can shout out a city.
I can shout out Newcastle because it's not Sydney.
You could also shout out New South Wales.
Shout out to the New South Wales fam in general.
Good job, Lana. What gyms have you been to in New South Wales?
Huh? Oh, I have been to Nomad Bouldering Gym,
Oh yeah, cool.
which is mad. I love it there.
It's Nomad.
Nomad, brother. Probably my favorite bouldering gym in
Oh, cool.
Victoria.
I thought you were gonna say.
Sorry, in New South Wales.
I thought you were gonna say blanket like it's your favorite, and I was a little concerned.
No way.
We're
and I've been to
approaching the
9
end.
Degrees in Alexandria, I believe, which is also where Tanara sets, who's one of our setters for finals. Sorry, for
The
Vic
whole,
States, yeah.
the whole thing. Emily just not quite. This is quite crucial. Oh, so Tao topped the first 3 boulders. Emily wasn't able to make her way up the last boulder. So Emily's gonna have to definitely get up this boulder if she wants to try and make it for first place. But I don't think it will be enough because I believe Tao flashed the first red one. So it would mean that Emily has to get this in, I think, on her either her second or third attempt to put her in a better place. But again, I'm not sure about those technicalities. I've never seen Oscar's hands move so fast doing this brushing right now.
I have to hold myself back from making such comments.
Just saw a cool like glow of Emily's shadow on the wall, which looked like quite a green color. You can see the walls changing colors a little bit. We've got some interesting light things going on. I wonder how much that might like distract the athlete.
I wonder if they're just way too focused.
Yeah, you're just kind of like blocking everything out. I'm a little bit sensitive to light and sound. And so I imagine if I was a competitor, I'd want a bit more peace and calm than the crazy. I was watching a World Cup recently. I don't remember where it was, but when the finalists topped a boulder, it did all this crazy like smoky mist stuff. And a lot of the competitors didn't really know what to think about it because it's quite a spectacle, if you like. And they actually, in that World Cup, I believe they accidentally let off the smoke before someone had topped the boulder and they fell off the top of it, anticipating that they were going to get it, which, again, is a bit of an embarrassing moment. I don't know what World Cup it was, but, yeah, so, again, you can see that really weird, like, greeny shadow on the wall, which looks quite eerie, to be honest.
Unfortunately.
Oh, nice.
Oh, awesome.
So getting the right hand over there, latching on. Looking pretty confident on that left crimp, to be honest. I think Emily is probably a little bit more powerful than Tao. You can see just the general size of her shoulder. She looks really powerful. Again, it's not to say that you need to look powerful to be powerful. She's looking pretty solid in this press position, strong through her chest and her triceps. She needs to try really hard on this to catch the swing, get the foot up. I'll be interested to see if she can top this. Oh, that's the beta. I was actually thinking whether you would have to flip the left. This puts Emily in a really interesting spot to see if she can do that. She's literally at her least amount of energy right now. She's going to have to pull out like a really, really good attempt. We've only got 30 seconds left. So, yeah, we're really pushing it. We're coming close to it. Not quite able to grab that swing.
Let's go, Em.
She's going to have to go really fast here. And sometimes this sped up process actually doesn't work for the athletes. I think she's really zapped, doesn't quite have the energy. A really good finals round for Emily. Fought really hard, climbed really hard. And I think that brings us to a wrap.
Yeah, that was an awesome show we got.
That was really cool.
That was really cool. Hopefully we'll be updating you with the podium and scores in due time.
Alrighty, guys. Results will be pending 10 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah, 10 minutes to
You may hear the
appeal
announcements
the
from Oscar
results
coming
before
over the
we
speakers
release
at
them.
Boulder Lab right now. You'll probably be getting a scoreboard up on your screen very soon. For now, you can enjoy the general
We're
clutter.
live right now, so in the next 10 minutes, if you want to make an appeal,
There you go. So
make an appeal,
Ben
do
Ben
so,
in
find
first
those live
place.
results and appeal them. Appease the
Enrico in
results.
second place. Then we've got Marlo in third, Jacob in fourth, Owen in fifth, and we didn't have a James Cassay in sixth place. So that is wrong, but that's okay. We ended up just having the 5 competitors.
James Cassay did have to pull out due to a niggle.
So Marlo, so the top 3 competitors, this is what I mean about the split. You can see that the top 3 competitors all were on a similar sort of performance level, but it did come down to attempts, which is really exciting. It means that when the athletes are in the space, they have to start judging how difficult the boulders are.
And we have Open A women's results. So we have Tao Murasawa, the Tao-minator, in first place. Second place, Emily Scott. Third place, Clea Hall. Fourth, Roxy Perry. Fifth, Sarah Davis. And sixth, Kate Mendel. So good job to Tao there. The Tao-minator, did you hear that, Trent?
What?
The Tao-minator?
Talminator, I don't know if I like it.
Okay, well,
I want something cooler and more Japanese to respect her culture. I just love Japanese names. Talminator, like, it sounds so Australian. Sorry, Lan, I feel like I'm just like dissing
it's
you
all right.
there.
Andrew Chen made it up, actually. Shout out to Andrew Chen.
We're gonna go to some ads now, so stay tuned. Again, a huge shout out to our sponsors, which was Ocun, Happy Beaner, Clif, and Can Climb. Enjoy the ads. All right. Lana, do you want to introduce what's coming up next?
Yeah, so we're going to have a little women's
Alrighty, guys, we've got
expose
some
on
lost property.
climbing and setting
I've got a pair of
women's
wireless
gyms in
earbuds that were
Australia.
found
So I hope you
in
enjoy.
ISO on the floor. If you can tell me what brand they are, they're yours. So, yeah, tell me.
There's a
Tell
piece
me
of
what brand
advice
they
you
are
give
and
to
they're
your
yours.
younger
If they're
self
yours, you'll
first
know
started
what brand
setting.
they
What
are,
would
I'm
it be?
assuming.
I think it would just be to trust my ideas more. I feel like early days I would like jump from idea to idea or pick an idea and
You
stick
only
with
get
it.
one guess on the brand of earphone. If they're yours, you'll know.
Working with setters sort of impacted the way I think about my climbing, especially the movement. Like learning about setting helps me to think about how the move is created, which then helps to me to determine how to do it if I encounter a similar move later down the line in a competition or something. If you're wanting to do a high level competition, I would say just like climb lots, find people that push you and who you really enjoy climbing with. That's like the most important part. and like making sure that majority of your sessions you're having fun in. Obviously there's gonna be some days where they're a bit tough, but when you're like having a good time climbing with people, your climbing will progress, and if you've got people who are pushing you, it'll just kind of happen automatically. In a comp, they are pouring to get up those boulders. So thing in my mind is always, if you think it's going to be too hard, it's probably not. Give the athlete the opportunity to pull hard and to do it. That's what I always try to think. What are you doing?
Teaching you how to crib. You might think you know how to crib until you know this.
Specifically, I think when you watch someone try your boulder, they seem to have that experience that you both have, and like you can see the joy watching that process happen. And then also when they do something completely different and it looks way cooler than what you kind of saw and what the whole team thought.
Get me home.
Rocky.
Things will get better. It was quite hard at the start, but I think it's really important to have females. So I won this day.
I slept well where I
The
did.
sport is growing, and just how people view the importance of diversity, that's going to change. I think just know that what you bring is different and is valuable. What you bring to the team is special.
Wait, where would you go? Hoping you enjoyed that video. We're just seeing some representation of women in setting at Urban Climb in Blackburn. It looked like quite an aged video. We had some face masks in from a COVID time, but showcasing some beautiful walls and hold selections at Urban Climb, which is really cool. How do you reflect on being a woman in climbing, Lana? Like, how do you feel about your own representation of being a woman, and what does Boulder Lab do to sort of help represent women in climbing?
Many of you know what spot
Well, I
prizes
really
are
think that it is
and how
starting
they
to get a
work.
bit better. I mean,
throw stuff at you,
just
you
on
catch it,
states,
keep
you know,
it.
we've had
Cool.
only
So bunch
two,
on up. form a
only
nice little
3
crowd.
male setters,
Keep your
and
eyes
then
on the prize so
others
that
have been
hit
female
anyone
or non-binary, which is
unexpectedly.
awesome.
Angus is going to give me a hand. Do you want to
Yeah,
throw
I
a
think we
couple
really
of
are
them,
coming
Angus?
into
You wanna
it,
throw a
having a
couple?
lot
All right,
more female
heads.
setters, a lot more inclusion,
Heads.
a lot more like camaraderie between all the female
We got
setters as well, which
Arguably the
is
third
really
best
awesome.
Clif Bar flavour here.
You can see we're having a bit of a party on the
Probably
mats
about
now. Oscar, our awesome MC, is
Cool.
handing out some prizes. I don't
Got some
exactly
nut
know what they
butter
are. Oh, from our sponsors. So some Clif Bars coming out. Perhaps some chalk was coming out as well.
Cool.
The atmosphere is really excited right now. Everyone's really pumped.
Everyone
Other
loves
people
free
are
stuff.
really tired. I've seen a lot of people just resting up on the mats, being super wrecked. It's very exciting getting to this closing point. So again, huge shout out to our sponsors. Ocun have done an awesome job of running their stall today, letting people try on a whole bunch of shoes, letting people try on a whole bunch of pants, and giving that technical knowledge and understanding of what their shoes can offer their climbers.
Really sorry if I hit anyone.
Happy
Really,
Beaner have been
really
a
am.
really awesome asset to today as well,
There's a big
showcasing the
one.
importance of local business,
Where'd that
having
go?
a whole bunch of really cool products. I remember 5%. You can get 5% off things from happybeaner.com if you get the code SCV in there, I believe, at the checkout. Reasons to go and shop at Happy Beaners because they're focusing on sustainable gear. So they make a conscious effort to stock only sustainable gear and socially responsible brands. It's interesting to think about that socio-environmental relationship. Lana, you can probably comment on that a little bit more than I won't directly prompt you to, but if you want to fill in, you can.
I
And
do have
yeah,
a chocolate bar in my mouth right now, maybe after.
yeah, we're hungry. Oh, did you manage to get one from the crowd just then?
No, I got this earlier. I melted in my pocket though. Do you want to buy
Oh,
it?
melting.
You want some?
No, I'm all good. Couple of our other sponsors we've got is Can Climb. So I believe some of the prizes Oscar's throwing out is some of the chalk provided by the Canberra-based business. They also provided some small prizes for the podium winners, which is really cool. And then, of course, we had Clif. So energizing all our athletes today, energizing our spectators, setters, commentators like myself as well. I'm really grateful getting those extra carbohydrates in. Yeah, it's been a really awesome day. So again, huge shout out to all the volunteers who committed today.
And the biggest shout out to the production team. So everyone at home on the live stream, you would not have been able to view this if we didn't have volunteers, people who are sacrificing their time, their energy, their gear that they've paid thousands of dollars for to share that with the climbing community and spread this out here. So big shout out to mainly Ben and Josh who are pushing through here. I'm not going to give you any last names for specifics, but remember the names Ben and Josh. They've killed it today. Ben's literally been on this wild computer, clicking buttons, getting the camera angles right.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
Josh has been our technical guy. He's been fixing up things left, right, and center. And obviously to SCV, who have been an awesome help for today. It doesn't actually happen if they don't sanction these events. Yeah, I'm psyched. Like, I really am quite tired at this point. It's been a really long day. But yeah, to all these people you can see in the crowd, all you see is happy faces, people who are laughing and smiling, and that's honestly the best thing we can ask for. So yeah, just a quick plug-in for Boulder Lab as well. All our employees here have done an awesome job at volunteering their time for things, and making sure that we are providing the best support for all the competitors here. We're also going to bring up a really short video from Pat Klein, who is the business owner and director here at Boulder Lab.
Also the setting director for this year's...
And the head setter for this event, so stay tuned for that.
Hey, my name's Pat. I'm the director of Boulder Lab and the head setter for the 2023 Vic State Titles. This is a pretty exciting year. It's the biggest event we've hosted at Boulder Lab and one of the biggest SCA events in all of Australia. We've got over 300 competitors this year from Youth X all the way up to Masters, and we've had a set team of 8. We've been setting for the last couple of days for this event. The setting started Wednesday night. We stripped the entire gym, and day 1 was setting finals. That consisted of 40 finals boulders for our Youth B, Youth A, Junior, Open B and Open A athletes. Day 2 was our qualifying round, which is Boulder Jam. That's 5 boulders for all of our finals athletes and 7 for all the athletes that aren't doing finals. After each round of setting, we split up into groups and test the boulders. So as you can imagine, in a group of testing, 40 boulders each day to test, the setters start getting pretty tired. It's a lot of work. Experienced a lot of climbing, and the difficulty ranges from really easy for our Youth X competitors all the way up to national level boulders for our Open A athletes. We have World Cup competitors here this weekend, so our hardest boulders are quite difficult. So it'll be exciting to see how our athletes compete this weekend. We're just about to watch the Open A finals. We've got competitors ranging from all across Australia. We've got ex-national champions, current national champions. We have World Cup athletes climbing, so they're going to put on a bit of a show for us. We've got boulders ranging from slab all the way to steep, dynamic, powerful. It should be a great show.
So huge shout out to Pat and to Boulder Lab in general, because honestly, closing for 2 days, huge impact on business, but you really do have to make these kind of sacrifices for the greater good of the sport. And speaking of, if this has gotten you psyched, New South Wales State Boulder Titles, 16th of September, followed by South Australia Boulder Titles, 23rd to 24th of September. Sick.
And what else have we got? We've got the National Lead and Para Climbing Selection event, which is 6th of October at Cliffhanger.
Which is the tallest gym in the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, cool. I didn't actually know that. And then we've also got the National Bouldering Championships in New South Wales, which I believe the competitors who came in the top 3 today have essentially qualified for the National Bouldering event that will happen on the 28th and 29th of October at Nomad Bouldering.
Which, if you were paying attention, is my favorite.
Yeah,
New South Wales.
Lana's favorite gym, so you have to go and support. And then we've got the Olympic qualifiers, so our conversation steps up quite dramatically there. This conversation of the Olympics is an interesting one where the sport is showing its professionalism by being at such a incredible global event and ensuring that we're at the forefront of the sport and our professionalism as well. So Boulder and Lead combined Olympic pathway is 24th to the 26th of November at Urban Climb in Blackburn. So that's really exciting to be hosting that at Urban Climb Blackburn, which I believe they opened up earlier this year, maybe last year?
I feel like it was earlier this year, but honestly, life is a bit of a blur.
Yeah, so a really amazing rope climbing gym who hopefully can continue to host some awesome events over there. hopefully we can continue to keep hosting events at Boulder Lab. I'm not sure if we're doing it next year, but again, if you've enjoyed tonight, if you've had someone involved in tonight's event and you're really keen on perhaps providing some future support by being a volunteer or getting a membership through SCV, I highly recommend. Climbing is a sport that's going to continue to push the boundaries of excitement and visual appeal for people. So yeah, stay tuned and get online to the IFSC YouTube. It's got a whole bunch of climbing content on there that's really cool. And then your YouTube is going to start understanding that you want to get into climbing and giving you a whole bunch of suggestions about climbing stuff. That it'll just be, the
algorithm works.
The algorithm does not stop.
You have to respect the algorithm to an extent.
I think we're going to start podium soon. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to go into some ads soon, so stay tuned on the visuals. Once again, thanks to our supporters, our sponsors. You've done an amazing job. We're back. Hope you enjoyed those ads. I'm going to throw you over to Jimmy, who's going to facilitate the podiums and hand out some first, second, and third medals, I believe. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon.
Good evening, Boulder Lab, and this great state of Victoria. Well, that was a tremendous day. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to all of our volunteers, all of our organizers. Thank you to Boulder Lab. Thank you to our route setting crew, Pat Klein. We have the full route setting team with Jordan, Ryu, Liam, May, Rach, M, and Tinara. And thank you, everybody, for staying so late. I'm really sorry about all the delays. We're doing the best we can. I'm really glad you're all still here. And I hope you all enjoyed a really great show. I want to highlight a few volunteers, especially our event officials, Denise, our jury president, Emma, our head judge, Dean, our volunteer coordinator. Many hands make the light work, and we'll love your help at the next one. Congrats to all of our athletes, our Open A athletes this comp. And this comp is the start of the qualification pathway to Paris 2024. Good luck and well done. Now I'm going to run through the podiums, starting with Open B female. So we're going to do our competition podium first. In third place, we have Priscilla Ellis. And in second place, we have Lauren Tong. And in first place for Open B female, and your competition winner is Jamie Chen.
Hey, that's a win. That's a win.
I'm going to try and find the comments for live stream. Just to read through.
Congratulations to our competition winners for this evening for Open B female. Now we're gonna do our Victorian podium for Open B female. In third place for Victoria, we have Ash Hoy. In second place for Victoria, we have Priscilla Ellis. And in first place, and your Victorian 2023 State Boulder Open B female champion is Lauren Tong. And congratulations to our Open B female Victorian podium winners. Moving on, we have our Open B male category. So everybody's Victorian here, so we're gonna go straight to the go straight to the podium. In third place is Ayrton New. In second place, we have Lachlan McMaster. In first place, and your Open B Victorian State Boulder title champion is Gabriel Till. And his brother fluffy friend. Congratulations to our Victorian Open B male podium winners. Now, before I announce our Open A podium, I just want to spend a little moment to thank our sponsors. So I'd like to thank Ocun, Happy Beaner, Can Climb, and Clif Bar and Company. Thank you very much. Your support is tremendous, and we really appreciate you. Now, for Open A female, we're going to start with our competition winners. In third place, we have Clea Hall. In second place, we have Emily Scott. And in first place, we have Tao Mirasawa. Congratulations to our competition podiums. And on to our Victorian podium. In third place, we have Maya Fuller. In second place, we have Sarah Davis. And in first place, your 2023 Victorian State Boulder Titles champion for Open A female is Tao Mirasawa. Congratulations to our Victorian podium winners. And lastly, we have our Open A male competition podiums. And in third place, we have Malo Gilly Idu. In second place, we have Enrico Capano. And in first place, your Open AML competition winner is Ben Abo. Congratulations to our competition podium winners. And lastly, we have our Victorian podium. In third place, we have Dylan Gilmore. In second place, we have James Cassay. And in first place, your Victorian State Boulder champion for Open A male is Enrico Capano. Congratulations to our Victorian champions. Thank you all for still being here. Thank you all for being such a great crowd. It's been a pleasure to have you. Shout out to everybody watching the live stream. It's been great to be here all day. We'll see you next year. Have a good night. Well, 1 second. Competition winners who have won shoes and pants, if you need to change the size, please see Thomas from Boulder Lab. Thank you. And good night.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream. We really appreciate your non-physical presence.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. If this is something you really enjoyed and you're still in the live stream, drop a thumbs up, drop some really thankful comments.
Give us some comments. Light
yeah,
us up.
huge shout out to the production team. Honestly, Ben and Josh have really powered the way through this. Hopefully we can see more of their work at future events. So please pay your respect to the producers here. It's been an awesome event. Thank you so much to everyone. Thanks again to the sponsors. And we'll hope to see you at the next one.
Hope so. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.